And we are live. Martinliedtke speaking, Flat Earth British. Welcome back to another amazing Flat Day. This is going to be fantastic. Let me just check my mics are in order. That actually sounds really good. I'm testing a new microphone, my condenser, and I haven't got a clue why I wasn't actually using it in the past. It seems really good. Any complaints about the audio? Please let me know in the chat. So I'm back. I'm back for a Flatter Day. It's going to be epic. We're going to have such a good time, guys. Okay, the whole thing about Flatter Day is happiness. Okay, in the celebration of life and the not giving a fuck about all the bullshit that goes on in the world. Yeah, it seems that people are wired to this weird death cult that they got going on, guys. Have you noticed that? I notice my family particularly, they have to do like a commemoration to dead relatives every single fucking year. So everyone can feel sad about it, even though the soul is eternal. And this is just a fucking meatbag avatar that don't mean anything. It makes zero sense outside of they are in a weird death cult is what I think is going on. And, you know, if you're thinking like in negative realms and negative ways, you're sure to manifest that bullshit right down the line. Okay, because we manifest through our intent, and you set your intent as clear as an arrow, and it will not miss. And you will get what you will, what you want, or what you need, more specifically. Okay, it's a fantastic show coming for you tonight, guys. It's going to be a whole lot of happy. Audio all good. Thank you, Darby. A whole lot of happy. Okay, so we're not going to do any of that we scared of stuff thing going on, or death. We're not going to do that we are scared of death thing going on in this show. What we're going to do is going to celebrate now, because that's all we ever got, and being here together to celebrate life. Does that sound like a fabulous idea, guys? Fucking A. It's going to be epic. We're going to have a little giggle later on. It's not going to be that rude. It's good to be back. It really is good to be back and having these cool Flatter Days. Now, what you will get in this show, apart from a good giggle along the way, is we're not going to take life too seriously at all, but I am going to do a serious historical case study about the real Tower of Babel. Now, it seems that when you Wikipedia this, they don't really know the location. Academia do not know the location of the famous biblical Tower of Babel. They have the dimensions for the Tower of Babel, but nowhere that quite fits it, maybe. What you find is they associate it to the ziggurat and other ziggurats, which are just the ziggurats, ancient buildings we know, but they're mud brick buildings, and they bear no similarities to the artworks, for example, Brigal, or to some of the ancient texts that we study on Flat Earth British, example, Lead Van der Haar Atlases 1733. We're going to look at a case study. I'm going to deliver it in an order, and I'm going to leave it to you to make your mind up about what I'm proposing is true or not. And I'm going to chuck it out there because I think from what I've looked into this week, I think that my proposal is every bit as solid as what they say. Well, they don't say anything. They just don't know where it is. And I think that I may do in this. So I'm going to share that with you. So we're going to look into a lot of stuff. Okay, we're going to look into, there's going to be literally about 100 things that are literally going to take your breath away in this post with mind-blowingness, like what the fuck is that doing there, sort of thing. Okay, and a lot of stuff that you never knew that was going to blow your mind. So please make sure to share this out. Okay, the rude cartoons and stuff later is cartoons. They're cartoon penises. That is allowed, and vaginas. That is allowed on YouTube because it's in cartoon and it's an art form. Okay, art for art's sake, let's say. But that's much later on in the show. Okay, to keep you interested. Okay, stuff going on. Whoa, 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 guys. The demand or the supply has outmet the demand. So I've been selling these and advertising these through my community page. They are 7,150 odd. books from antiquity, PDFs. Okay. Now, I had many of these, or a few of them left, but what I did do is shout the images stick of 45,000 images. Now, John Levy even bought one, guys. These are fabulous. The only thing is, have you any idea how long it takes to download 40,000 images? Yeah, it comes as a surprise to myself as well. So I'm not, unless I buy like a shit laptop next week to get a copy in on 4 devices. I got my son doing it as well. I got everyone sort of trying to copy these because I've got like a dozen orders to get out. Like, so please be patient. You will get them, but I got to be able to copy them. And it's taking a long time, but it will get there. So please be patient with me. Okay. I should have maybe had a load of them done before I got all excited thinking, fuck me, can I get this many images on a stick, on a drive? Apparently I can. I got all excited and jollied out and told everybody before I actually had any. Silly. So the good news is I'm in the process of don't take 5 minutes to transfer though, bro. It takes all fucking day. It's a loads of images from different files and like off hard drives and shit I got. It's taking longer than I thought, but with the master copy it goes quicker. Okay, so you get them all this week. Okay, it'll all go this week. I sent us load out this week, and there are some of these the book drives left. Okay, I can send them out like immediately, and whatever I got of the image drives. ASAP on Monday morning. Okay, guys, I'm doing my best. It's just like literally that's my entire life at the moment now is hanging around waiting for these to float. But it's worth it. So thanks anybody who has buying. It is an awesome. If you are a content provider for YouTube, this would be worth, literally if you advertise your channel, you had a YouTube channel, you can make a fuck ton of money with these sticks because you could make content with the best images out there anywhere, best resource guys. And make thousands of videos out of these drives, of the content and the book drives. There's just endless amounts of juicy information in both of them. So thank everyone who's purchased them, and they'll be off ASAP. Now, let's give you a few review shoutage. There's Dave Knuckles, my broski there, sharing that. Like I said, please hang fire for the images drives. It is a really, really fantastic deal, guys. It is really. I'm absolutely buzzing about that. People have been saying for years they would love all the images, and you want to see how many I've saved. And it's not even, it's just off the one computer, and all of them at once on year. A separate again, I could just do like another. I probably could get about 100,000 images off just these devices, and no shitting you, probably easily. Really, I got that many. I save everything. Jim Dillinger, good to see you. JJ Raccoon, Tartaria and FBs. So yeah. We're keeping that vibration high. Okay, we're not because the internet is a pain in the fucking ass, isn't it, guys? And there's not much to do on YouTube these days, is it? Everyone fucks off and does a private, or it's all their lot, isn't it? Talking a load of shit like fucking Graham Hancock on Joe Rogan, claiming fucking all of this is his, and it's not. That sort of thing, Andrea 75 babes, good to see you. So yeah, happy vibage. It's been a fantastic journey I've been on. I've just, as you know, been to America, and I've got back and got ill, and now I'm better, and I'm firing on all cylinders and ready to kick fucking ass. I'm here to chew gum, and I haven't got any gum. Okay, so it's going to be epic. No, Jason RKX, Jason Brashears, RKX, let it slip on one of his live feeds that I will be returning soon to America land, which I am going to be returning soon. We've got something quite big planned, so make sure to keep an eye on my community page. We'll announce this week probably what fantasticness is actually coming down the later down the line in the near future for errants and FEBers and truthers alike. It's going to be the extended summer of love. This is where it's at. This is going to be the best thing that happened for many fucking years. It's just going to be the best. Okay, and that's coming very soon. So keep a lookout on FEB. There's a meet coming up. I'll talk about a little bit later in a week or so's time, a flat earth meet, but they haven't got too many tickets there. I think there's only about 60 people, something like that going. Dave Murphy's doing a talk. I'm going myself down in Bournemouth. And it was announced this week on that wanker James Wales radio show. What a wanker he is. So I got a feeling like, you know, there'll be like spies sniffing around and stuff. So it'd be well worth going out so we can sniff them back, you know. You're not like Biden sniffs them, you know, just like secret squirrel. We're watching you fucking chills over here, type of thing. Okay. Because they're all over everything, aren't they? Like a fucking rash. They're all there, and they're really creepy. And tell you something else about them as well. They're clammy. I don't know what it is, guys. They got all like a sweaty, clammy thing about them. And they get wet lips. Do you know psychos get wet lips? Yeah. Shills get wet lips. It's because they're all panicky and all of that. They get wet lips. They get wet lips and they get all fucking clammy. Yeah. Well, that's your own ass fault for selling fucking out, isn't it? It's like when all that shit came down about that fucking dirty old Welshman. There's loads of dirty old Welshmen, but not as bad as Hugh Edwards. Gonna just mention some mainstream bullshit. Within a fucking minute, there's like their YouTube crew comes online, you know, and they can see it, probably anything they fucking want, no problem whatsoever about anything. Seemingly, I had 7,000 screenshots on my tablet and I got it stolen. Oh, that's that kind of dummy. Listen, that's not even a great amount. I got like 7,000 in like one file of 1,000 files. I'm not even joking, honestly. Can I create a disk image and drop a new thumbnail drives? Yeah, I'm thinking along them lines too this week, actually, even if it takes like I got to give people 2 thumbnail drives. To, you know, for more somewhere along the line, I might have to, because I just got so much juice and it really needs to be out there making content for everybody else to, you know, do their thing, which I'm quite happy about, guys, you know. Yeah, just get that information out there. Fuck it. Magavelli, Akash, Frank, good to see you. Somebody's talking about me because my left ear here is burning like fuck right by there. So somebody in that direction, in the West. Anybody on about me in the West? Texas? Yeah? My ears are burning. My ears are burning. Glenn Sketch, good to see you, my brethren. So yeah, this is all right. It's quite juicy, this microphone. I'll be using this condenser from now on. It's weird to set all of the levels and shit, but I managed to do it. Fluffy little clouds, Alva Billy. Fluffy little clouds. They go on forever and ever. And we're going to see some more of them big skies very soon. I will literally post everything that I do and share everything with you. So somebody just bought a 7,100 book drive. And then books are absolutely fantastic. You know, I can't believe every title that I imagine. And then I look and, oh, it's there. It's just amazing. And all antique. You know, so many from the 1800s. As you know, I got a thing about old books, antique books. Jason Brashears as well. You want to see his book collection? It is the best, and it's probably the best in the whole of Houston, and it probably is. It's a museum, and all these 1800s books even from the 1700s. I got quite a few myself. Worth their weight in gold, guys, because as you know, everything on the digital realm now. You know, they can alter the original narratives and stuff, but when it's old books and the way things are prior to 1900, you know, the book writing is just amazing. You know, this is high-end intellect, you know, it's creative, it's amazing, and it all goes stupid after the turn of the 1900s for some reason, when the empire started erecting this new world. It took 100 years to get going with the automobile. Because the internal combustion engine that hasn't changed in 100 years or plus until now. And now they're all going electric, where it was before the internal combustion engine. Nothing new under the sun. Jana, good to see you. My old friend Alva Billy. So yeah, we got some things on the horizon. Okay, the flat horizon coming soon, which is going to be fantastic. We've got a good chance of hooking up with Flat Earth British over in the States, because the last time, all the peeps that I met, absolutely fucking fantastic. So I've gone all fucked up and ill. I got fucking sorry about my language, not really. I got irradiated in Mexico, or we didn't we, share? Radiated our asses. We were crying and then crying. So David Dickinson, it's a cruel master, this fucking Matrix. So, Epic, Healer Reza. Hi, Reza. Good to see you, my friend. TW, good to see you, my friend. No, Andrew. No one order the image drives just for now. Somebody just bought one because I have 10 and I'm only a couple in. It's going to take me all week. It's going to be all week until I got all them out. But as long as you don't mind waiting a week. But yeah, this goes abroad anyway. It takes fucking a week anyway, doesn't it? So I don't suppose it matters. Adrian, good to see you. You're in Anglesey, you double flat firms, North Walian. Death, good to see you. Oi, oi. Jolly Man is in the house. We love you, Jolly Man. Just JP, bringing her love and positive energy into the house. Jim Dillinger, he's got a good gangster name. Oi, oi, Brian. Much love to you, my Brian. We love you too. It's that epic Brian brother from Llanelli in Wales. 420 rules. Yay, penises. Beth Almira's. Hiya, Beth. How are you doing? Yay, penises. No Welsh penises, but there will be penises. And there will be walking vaginas. Looking forward to that? Yes, vaginas with little legs. You don't believe me, do you? Steve Rogers. Listen, you want anything good enough, you can manifest it. David Jack. Stan, good to see you. So, you feeling that tickly belly feeling, yeah? That's the FEB buzz out, guys. It's all that love, motion, not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing the way this is going to go down. It's going to be epic, is what it's going to be. Okay, so Jim Davison's in the house Monday morning. Good to see you. And hey, Beth. Yes, yay, Martin. From Cheryl. Talking to a friend, Bethage. Good, isn't it? April Faxton. Good to see you. Jacob's in the house. D'Angelo's in the house. And our lovely Joe is in the house. And Corinne is in the house. I'm glad I'm back as well, Corinne. And Kay and Kenneth Dummy, who's epic. And Stephanie and Carrie. And all you lovely guys. And Max, Dexter, and D'Angelo. I said that. How am I supposed to read that? Fat thumbs to you anyway. Okay, thank you. And thank you, Hippie Shake, for doing that. Okay, right. What we're going to do now, okay, we're going to go through a ton of information. So it's probably best to dose up. But like Pink Floyd, my videos are always better tripping. Okay. Not really. So we're going to look at a load of images, a load of really cool stuff, and I'm going to propose the locations of or the location or locations, because the thing what you find when you investigate the Tower of Babel is all ancient civilizations, the Mexicans, the Chinese, the Africans, North American Indians, have all got a Tower of Babel narrative in their history, even the Chinese. I said that. And not only in apparently Persia, okay, or what is Phoenicia, Babylon. We're in control now, which is another reason why we're looking at all of this. And we're going to pick this case apart, right? Scooby-Doo style. Okay, we're going to Scooby-Doo this shit. It's what we do from now on. Okay, 464 of you, Scooby-Doo this shit. Okay, I'm Shaggy. Okay, got Velma. Oh, they went to shit when they brought in Scrappy-Doo, though, I must say. So, Tower of Babel, clues galore, and we're going to look into shitloads of stuff. We're going to have funnies, going to look into Chinese architecture. We proposed recently that the Great Wall of China was the Silk Road and designed by the Romans. And I'm going to show you a book of antiquity from the Chinese, and it bears no similarity to anything to do with the Great Wall of China. It's all sticks and pretty bits and weirdness. Antiquitech as well going on. So yeah, no fear, Carrie. Okay, we don't do that. Fear. Okay, if it's just people are feared, they're just scared of living. Not scared of dying people, they're scared of fucking living. Okay, the only way to gain anything in this place, okay, is to break pattern. Break pattern. It's as simple as that. Okay, just break pattern and see what happens. Take a wrong turn in. Fuck this Truman Show thing right up. Okay, enjoyed you in Texas. You helped me find Jason. Nice one, Tim. Nice one, Timothy. Okay, we got a yay from Bethage in the house. I did bring I did bring a badge for you, Beth, because you lost your Flat Earth British badge, your shirt on this table, to the convention. But I was so, busy with everything in Houston, the big meet we had in Houston, that I forgot all about it. Say up, Joe. It's all bullshit on toast. Anyway, so as long as they get people thinking about silly shit and they go out on the silly shit portal and never getting any answers, they're happy. Fellow Ely Bean, good evening. Is that you? Far from the people, by the people, for the people, by the people. I've seen you around. So, are you Ely boy? Raz. Never really usually meet Ely people. Roaming, and foaming. And also, when you go gallivanting around, it's roaming or Roman. They rode in, because that's all they probably were. Yeah, Jason Bashir's melted your Brian. Okay, we're going to melt your Brian. You're a bit of no. Okay, total nutter. We'll sort your fucking Brian out for you right now. Okay, we'll peel it back. We'll look inside and we'll pour all new juice in there. And you'll be like, what the fuck is that? I've never ever thought that before. We said, no, because this is new ways of thinking. Because this is what we do on Flat Earth British. Okay, we invent shit. And then we find out it's all true. Like the never-ending story. Example, Antiquitech. Or bells, for example. Start talking about bells and proposed it as a technology. Now it's everywhere on fucking TikTok. It's a thing. Okay. He melts my Brian too. Okay, he does. He melts our Brians. Okay, let's get into some juice. Now, what you find is with artworks, higher Arwen, somebody linked up your Bible thing into my comments. It is hard to find valuable. It's hard, or attention media is a distraction. It's all bullshit on toast, Marvin, my brother. We don't do that. None of us old school truthers. We know better. Son of Overbrook, good to see you, my friend. And Edna, beautiful Edna Bells in the house. And my brother, who's Bear. Love to you and all your family, Bear. And Monkey Misfit. And anybody else who's cool. And Manny H. Okay, he's in the house. And Anonymous Apocalypse. Okay, good to see you. So the Tower of Babel. Now, what I started to think about was what was the frame of reference for famous artworks like Bruegel. And I got to thinking about what is the true dimensions of this supposed Tower of Babel. But as I explained, I find out that there's apparently many, many different versions of the Tower of Babel myth. But they do give you some idea, and there are different values in dimensions for different narratives. But essentially, they give you a value for some massive footprint, 1,000 feet wide, that would, in some cases, hold a tower almost 3 miles high. So I'm not feeling that. I think that's maybe a bit of an exaggeration. Jersey Bob. What if it is? I was going to actually suggest this a little bit later. Jersey Bob, okay, saying Dante's Inferno, an inverted pyramid upside down, okay, or a tower, if you like, upside down. Which, when I propose what I'm proposing, Jersey Bob, I was going to get to that bit. Yes. Is it like Dante's Inferno, different levels down? Is that where the tower is? Going under. But we're going to think about loads of different ideas for what the Tower of Babel actually really is. So the narrative is this. Okay, after the flood and stuff, yeah, they build this tower up to the heavens where God lives. So God's like, hell no, but I'm not going to flood your asses again. But what I am going to do is, okay, is I'm going to discombobulate you all, okay, by making you all have different languages and talking babble, which is a bit like the internet today, isn't it, really? And everybody just didn't understand one another. And then they were strewn out all over the world, all these different color and nationalities of people with different dialects. But before then, we had one language, one peoples, and then it all went to shit. So what is the tower exactly? Well, let me just share screen, and we're going to look at Bruegel's. I've got some good books on Bruegel in my room. It's one of my favorite little artists. I'll just straight a bit of volume as well, just in case I need. Okay, so there it is. It's the famous image, but what it does show you, remember, all of these paintings are always from a bird's eye perspective, which I find fascinating. What Bruegel's done is he put it in a German, European landscape. So what you find when you look into it is they say the Tower of Babel was near water, and in fact it was on water, and maybe regained land around it. Okay, this looks very Star 40 at the bottom, and it is a classical design, and there's many vaults inside. What exactly is it? It looks a bit like a device, but what you got here is maybe this is the second building with Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, but it's medieval in this images. Everything seems to point to the Tower of Babel being medieval. We get this image comes up with the Wikipedia, and it's one of the tarot cards. And later on, I'm going to show you a antique set of tarot from the 1600s, one of the earliest. I've got two sets. These are earlier. And I think they give us the clues to our reset, recycled system. I think it gives us clues to everything that's going on. And, you know, the tarot is to tell your future. So they have all permeations of what this realm is in the tarot. And one of them is the tower that crumbles in flame, the Tower of Babel. So, yeah, they got their shit together and they built a great city. Okay. And this is what we need to look for. We need to look for a city and a tower which looks like that. So it's not a pyramid as such, but it is ever decreasing. It has large church-like vaults, and it's slightly inclined, and it's like a corkscrew, a helter-skelter. But this is the general design. Where did the artists get the idea for this design? Because I'm sure they didn't give you pictures of the Tower of Babel in the King James Bible. I don't think it was illustrated. There's some other artworks you can see as a classical world there, but like a German world or a European world, green. So whatever happens to this part of the world, the Fertile Crescent, the Levant, Phoenicia, Babylon, was apocalyptic. I mean, after Noah's flood, something really bad happens. I'm going to show you the earliest photographs ever taken of Samarra in 1860. Also, I'm going to show you Jerash Jorden, and you're going to see the evidence of a great cataclysm. And I can give you other examples. So right across the Sahara, right across the Arabian Peninsula, right the way into Mesopotamia and Persia, where the Euphrates and the Tigris are, that whole area now is desert. Yes? But was it always desert? No, it was the Fertile Crescent, and now it's desert. So I feel that something apocalyptic happened that made the deserts that you see today there in that band. I think it was some sort of futuristic or future of the past weapon along the lines of the fasces that turned this place into dust. So there it is in Kirchter's Tower of Babel. I'm going to share this book with you. It's an early works, but he goes into some detail. Now, I can't work out for the life of me why Kirchter would engrave, and again, from this bird's eye perspective, something that looks super futuristic even now. It looks acoustic, but it has that same sloping upwards on an angle style. That where they all getting their ideas for the Tower of Babel in their depictions. There's different versions there, a smaller one. Of course, there was the Hanging Gardens of Babel as well. And there's plenty of depictions. This is from the Kirchner book, which shows you this giant tower. Was this really what they built? All the way up to the gates of heaven, up in the sky, to go knock, knock, knock. Can we come in, please? And God's like, well, no, actually, you lot actually suck. You keep doing weird things. Here's the Tower of Babel, and it looks from above. I bet that looks exactly like a device. The way this is like dam-like, and the whole thing looks gadget-like to me. This Tower of Babel. This one isn't doing the incline so much, but it's still that ever decreasing with the inner chambers inside. They all got that same sort of thing in the artworks. So in the modern day, you know, the power structure and the the empire, has their offices, and it is a version of Brussels in the EU in Brussels. Brussels, this one here, which I have on my wall as well. Tower of Babel. There's some old images there, an engraving from the 1700s, and again, it's this same style with a big, massive windows and vaulting, and this, this degrees of whatever that is, where it slopes all the way up, just like a helter-skelter. So they all got that thing going on. Note that they seem to show that they got the building of it and all of the machinery and mechanism, foundries, everything, all happening at the bottom. Like they've enlisted everybody just to build this tower because it's so important. Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on. Now, what I find is they give you all sorts of accounts. I'll just give you a little idea now when you Wikipedia it. Okay, this thing is 4,000 paces high, this tower, or 1,000 paces thick. So I'm not sure if paces is like feet, but or like a meter, like a step. I can't really be sure, so I can't really say. But there's different interpretations. A 14th century traveller said it was 64 furlongs, which is 8 miles high. Okay. So what they do say in popular culture, which I found super interesting, is this. The Peter Bruegel's influential portrayal is based on the Colosseum in Rome, hence them big arches. But while later conical depictions of the tower are depicted by Gustave Dor's illustration, resemble the Muslim towers observed in the 19th century's explorers of the minaret at Samarra, which is north of Baghdad, which is a site which is mind-blowing. And I found 1860 photographs of it, and it blew my mind. And it looks exactly like the Tower of Babel. And it looks a bit like Nineveh. And so I went through all the ancient depictions, and I found a complete match for the Great Mosque at Samarra. It was the biggest mosque in the world at a certain stage, was this. So yeah, you've got all these different cultures have all got a tower. The Gnostics, the Mormons, the Islamic tradition, they got it in the Quran. Okay. Midrash, the Greek apocalypse got a tower as well. Okay, the Tower of Babel. And Josephus, the Jew, he's done an account of the tower also. Pseudo-Philo done one. And the Book of Jubilees, and they're saying this is the ziggurat here of Babylon, okay, by Etta Meninaki, which sounds a bit Anunnaki, but this looks nothing like one of the depictions that they show us. It looks like none of the artworks, or none of Kirchner's works, or none of the engravings, period. It looks like none of them look like a ziggurat at all. None of them. So other traditions, folklore of the Old Testament, Botswana, Nepal, Arizona, Mexico, Greco-Romano parallel, Samaria and Syrian parallel, all have a mythos concerning a tower that was going to the heavens, okay, rendering the height of heaven no safer than the earth. And they say giants attempted to take the celestial kingdom, piling mountains up to the distant stars. So piling mountains on top of one another. Then the all-powerful father of the gods hurled his bolt of lightning, fractured Olympus, and threw Montpellier down to the Ossa below. So that's Zeus and his thunderbolt, which is Fasces, as we know, if you watch that British. So yeah, the Aztecs got a version, and the Christians, as we know. So yeah, there's loads of different towers in different narratives there, but they all pretty much sum up the same thing: is we're all talking bollocks because we're talking the language of Babel, which is the Phoenician language phonetics, coincidentally, isn't it? So the dimension, so it's 1,000 steps. So where is it? Well, the oldest map that we got to cite this is the Mappa Mundi. It's 1290, and it's housed in Hereford Cathedral. And it gives you the locations of all of these places like Eden, Noah's Ark, and the Tower of Babel. And it's there. So you get it on one river, not two. It's a giant tower. Looks like a tower on top of a tower with towers on top of that. And it doesn't bear any resemblance to any towers in any of the artworks. But you want to check out what they show you for Jerusalem. They show you a star fort or that. So whatever is, it looks like if that tower we were just looking at. No, that's what I was confused about, you see, because I was thinking, well, if Damascus is still there from the Bible, Jerusalem's still there from the Bible, why isn't the Tower of Babel? And that looks really like, you know, looking down onto some sort of tower, Jerusalem. So that may be one contender, but I'm sure something would have slipped through antiquity about its location being there. I've seen the location of Babylon close to Egypt, in Egypt, close to the pyramids as well. I'll link this up. You can explore it yourself. There's loads of things to explore on the map of Monday. So back to Kirschner. Now he shows, and he's lived between 1602 and 1670. And I don't know what his ideas for a giant tower off of the North Pole. You got Tartaria there, interesting. And then you got this, like, I don't know, another tower here onto there, another world, if you like, hanging off it, which is really, really weird. And then this high, you know, you've got all different languages there, all the way up to Semterra. Semterra. Terra is Earth. So yeah, they were trying to get to the realm that is above us. We've been flooded. We are lost at sea, but that doesn't mean to say there's a greater world above us with more land. And I really do think this is the case as well. I really do. There's a Tartarian ocean above us, but it's all connected to a greater land. So yeah, it gives you a groovy little map. Gives you loads of groovy things. This one is, well, basically Persia. It doesn't give you it's the when Moses went with his gang and took for absolutely ever to go, like, not even that far really. They all lived on manna, so Kalela then is it probably. So yeah, he gets into his buzz, but he shows you this. Okay, Nineveh, which is a city you can visit today. I'm going to show you something mind-blowing about this. So it's got a pyramid outside, and what you find with these is this is supposed to be from the Bronze Age, biblical era. So why is a star fort there? It's a star fort. Nineveh is 1733, this engraving. Baghdad, also some sort of star fort. But if you cannot deny, this has star fort corners. And this strange tower complex in the middle. Again, where's all the buildings, water going in there. It looks just like a circuit board. And then you've got this pyramid outside. So this place is immense, and they're always, what I find is they know exactly what Nineveh looks like, but they know exactly what Babylon looks like as well. How? I mean, the engravers at this period. So it's water completely surrounding Nineveh. Look at this thing here. Like two horseshoe magnets with an obelisk in the middle, creating charge. Obelisks everywhere. Oh, this Greco-Romano world looks like it's a bit mudded. And then you've got these, but no buildings as such, just these giant Greco-Romano circuit board city looking affairs. Okay, and that's what you get in the 1600s. How does he know? How does he know what Nineveh even looks like? Okay, because we get to a bit later and I can find a match, but with more detail, more mind-blowing. So let me just get back into these images. So I'll share this book with you in the descriptions. I don't know how many people are here right now. 575. Welcome to Flat Earth British. We've got a long way to go with this post, guys. A long way to go. It's all going to be mind-blowing. So please make sure to share this show out. It will be share worthy. Okay. So what you find is, apparently, according to Kirster, this is the town of Babel with a tower in it. Okay, it's not as massive as the other towers we've seen. Got this deserty wilderness outside, but this exact same sort of Nineveh structure with water going into it and water all the way around. Very circuit board city-like again. And their frame of reference, something in the 1600s, I don't even know. It's just really futuristic stuff. So this is what Kirster was looking at. The Tower of Babel. So that's some sort of an analogy. Okay, let me move on. So the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, there's been many documentaries concerning how did they water the Hanging Gardens of Babylon and get it all up there. But you can see this Greco-Roman world, it's on a river, and you've got, again, this twisty, helter-skelter looking tower, which is not that massive, not 3 miles high. Okay, so the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, which looks Greco-Romano with the fountains, and it's got the Phoenician column tops like you get on the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, and obelisk corners, which you get on all civic buildings in the Western world today. So almost as if all of this stuff didn't really happen all that long ago. Look at this image here. Enclosure within inside an enclosure, and then this giant obelisk and this giant building flying a flag. And that's meant to be Babylonia. So that's a completely different style of version of, and that's the Hanging Gardens, I guess, in a mud-flooded environment. But I'm guessing if there's all mud everywhere, now, you know, unless you can think of anything else that's happened to that Greco-Romano world in the background there, maybe you should comment to me, because it looks like it's all sunk in sloppy old mud. You got all that superior rotunda, and it's all in sloppy old mud with no path up to it. Use the paths going over the sloppy old mud. The sloppy old mud that's there. So the only way you could have a garden is if it was elevated out of the mud after a mud flood. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. So yeah, this will be a link to you. All of these books, everything that I show you in this post, except for some of the images, because they're on my Google. Okay, and it gives you family trees for after said floodage. Okay, let's move on. So that's the Kirster book. Now, this is mind-blowing. So what we got is the Wikipedia says that Bruegel's idea for the painting that he did of the Tower of Babel was the minaret at Samarra in Iraq, which we're going to be looking at all photographs in a minute. But what you got here, this is 1733 Lead van der Haar atlases. He's the greatest engraver, and we're going to look at how he's doing this work in a little bit of this blog a little bit later. So yeah, you'll be able to get this book linked, and what it does show you is this. So Syria and Babylon, apparently, and that's the city of Babel. Again, identical to what Kirster is showing us, and this is a completely different engraver. Again, from a bird's eye perspective, how is he even conceiving this? And you've got these water things all the way around. Well, this is not like a defensive place, because it can't be, because you could just basically walk over any one of these. So there doesn't seem to be any problems with anybody attacking them. But the water is all the way around. It's completely rectangle. It's got a tower in the middle, which is apparently the Tower of Babel. And what you got is at the main entrance, there's a river going in. Okay. And it looks like there's from there to there some sort of laser beam or a bolt going across, like these are Van de Graaff generators. Now that makes perfect sense, because it'd be like a force field around the entire town. And if this is a circuit board city, which I am definitely thinking it is, I'm thinking they all are. Fuck off. That was my phone saying stuff to me spookily. So yeah, it's exactly like Nineveh. It's in a square enclosure. Okay. It's got these things which are domes, which are above water. It looks like there's a little beam going across there, maybe. And it goes right the way through to the other end. And it's in the middle of nowhere at all. And it's not defensive because anybody could just walk in there, no problem whatsoever. Okay. So where did he get his ideas for basically the style for drawing that? We're going to look into. This is one of the most mind-blowing books you can get. Look at this for Nineveh. So Nineveh's there today. You can visit, but it doesn't look as good as what we're going to look at for Samarra. But Samarra is identical to this. Coincidentally, Samarra is around 1,100 paces wide, and I bet this is too, like the footprint for the Tower of Babel. Coincidentally, again, it's got exactly the same idea as Kirchner, and this is, maybe 100 years later, and he knows what it's about. We've got all of these ornamental gardens, everything's kicking back, but I noticed this, which was really amazing, is, excuse me, no, it's on one of the other pictures. So it's a star fort. It's meant to be from the Bronze Age, and Nineveh is a star fort with this skinny sort of thing in the middle, church building machine. Again, looks like it's a circuit board. From above, that would look like the central processor, and that would look like a motherboard. And there's no doubt about it in my mind, that looks like a motherboard. So that's Nineveh. And then it gives you the building and the construction of the Ark, which I seem to know a lot about. Okay, in this book, and they even show you that they saved dragons in the Ark because there's 2 dragons there, and dodos apparently. So they had dragons in Noah's Ark, which I find interesting. Okay, so we're going to skip through. We don't really want to look at the Ark. We've done that on the last post, and I want to get through to. There's the deluge. Is these. So this one here is Nineveh again from a different angle. Again, bird's eye perspective. Not sure what's going on, but again, from above, it looks like a circuit board. What kind of building is that thing? Again, water all the way around. Again, it's a star fort. Now, what is it? Yeah, so this is 1733. It looks like a circuit board. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's Nineveh. It's meant to be out of the Bronze Age. It's meant to be biblical. Yeah, it's a star fort. What is that? So Van der Haar, he dies in 1733 on the publication of these books, funnily. And they don't want you really looking at Flemish art or Flemish atlases. Did you know that? So that's why I do. This is maybe one of the reasons why. Is there seems to be a massive aerial building that looks like the Eiffel Tower outside of Nineveh Star Fort from the Bronze Age. What's it doing there? What else could it be? So that's a bit out of place and a bit out of time as well, isn't it? From what people propose about the ancient world. Plus, I find it incredibly interesting that all of these images that you get of Nineveh are star forts in the Bible, which I find fascinating, by the way. So, yeah, we got some images of these towers. Now, I don't think that it was the only tower. I really don't. They're doing it nowadays, aren't they? All of these towers it's the Illuminati penis, isn't it? Let's just build a big fucking tower, isn't it? Look at this. This tower's not looking too good. This is like a piece of rubbish tower. But again, it's got them sloping lines, which we will see on the examples of the Samarra images. And there it is going up. Now, what I want to draw your attention to is this. With these Lead Van der Haar engravings, I have proposed a dozen times, I've mentioned, how are they pulling this off? I mean, the engraving. I mean, it's done from a bird's eye perspective, and every single person is doing a different acts. It's all action shots. You know, these are making the substances for building of the tower, foundries, okay, and all of the stuff going on for the building of the tower. Now, how is he pulling it off? Through imagination and from a bird's eye perspective. So he's putting his mind up in the air and he's doing all of this use on the floor. Plus, there's a wealth of engravings. I've got maybe 100 different Van der Haar atlases myself. So how is he doing that wealth of information? So computer generated? No. No, I think there's a technology that I'll talk about a little bit later in this post, definitely going down. And I think it's happening, and it's giving us clues to how they're making the Grandmaster artworks and some of the sculptures. So it's a completely different version, but again, Greco-Romano and the superb Tower of Babel. Okay, let's have a look at this one. It's in green and pastured lands, not desert. You got this tower behind. Lots of obelisks because it's a tech, isn't it? And European medieval ships, because all of this looks like it's happening in the medieval times. And it's all in a bird's eye perspective again. You got this giant archer, and it looks like it's been there a while because people, like they do in the old days of the Gothic churches, is they couples or just put houses up towards it next to the wall. And the size of these arches and the size of this thing, it's definitely the Phoenicians. They're all over it. They got their statues on it, and it's in Phoenicia for fuck's sake. It's the Phoenicians, and we're speaking their language, the language of Babel. Babylon confusions is where God's like, right, I can put you out everywhere. You're all going to go everywhere in the world, and you're all going to talk a lot of bollocks for the next couple of thousand years. All right, just like that. And look at this thing here. So futuristic, but not completed. So yeah, I'm going to share this with you. And this one is Nebuchadnezzar transports bring all the rest to Babylon. So he's doing a bit of burning and looting, and it looks like that he's burning. Nebuchadnezzar is burning a European castle. Looks Germanic. And then he's nicking all the loot, which is basically what you do. Campaign season in the old world. You should go and nick some shit in a hot country. Fancy a holiday this year, Cuthbert? Oh, yes. Can we take over a poor country and nick all of their shit? Oh, yes. That was definitely what we were going to do. Good. Will there be any women? Yes. Can we go to one of those hot countries where the women wear virtually nothing? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Maybe French Polynesia. Yeah, that's where we're going. Not. That's stupid. People believe in like the globe, and then they show you the geode. So that's apparently the globe we live on without the water. Fucking hell. Yeah, whatever. Spinning through a vacuum of space. The blob. Yeah. Actually, we've got Island California there. The geode. Pathetic. Ridiculous. I can't believe they're still doing that in this day and age. I think all the new millennials, I think they'll all end up flat earthers. Probably. Because it is. And people just like, after all what's happening on the BBC, they're going to string them up soon. Nobody trusts these mainstreamy fuckers anymore. So that is definitely a star fort. Apparently from the biblical era, Bronze Age star fort, out in the Bible. Absolutely fantastic. And that's Baghdad. And I've seen images of Baghdad on old maps, and that looks like a cog, like it does with Jerusalem too, coincidentally. So Baghdad is a star fort. Wow. And it looks Greco-Romano too. Wow. So yeah, lots of juice in there. I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to move on because time is not my friend. So these are Samarra, Iraq, 1860. The earliest photographs they're taken. I was mind blown when I saw them. Hi, London McLovin. Good to see you, my brother. Jesus just left Chicago, headed for New Orleans, is what I heard. Is that so? Okay. Okay. What got me is this site, and how come I haven't heard more about it? It does state actually it's something that has not been excavated for many years, and it's just the most mind-blowing site. So can you imagine walking on that path and seeing the size of these structures? And there's brick inside, red brick. It is Roman. We'll have a look at it in a bit later. But so this site is connected with Baalbek, Heliopolis, and it's in a similar area. It's north of Baghdad, and I think this is a really good. I think this is a good chance that this is the original site of the Tower of Babel, and this is why. So that is the tower that Brigal used, and it's quite considerable height. People walk up it in the modern day because they've tarted it all up. This was the biggest mosque in the world. It fell 1,000 years ago. The Byzantines came along and smashed it like they did with Baalbek. They smashed that too. The rest by earthquakes. But what we're seeing is these flat horizontal bricks. This is the Romans. And this enclosure looks exactly like Nineveh and exactly like the old depictions of Babel. But it's Roman, it's red brick and Roman arches and massive. And everything else is all of these bricklets. Something really bad happens. And what you're going to see as well, guys, is, to me, if something is ancient, does entropy really start from the bottom? I mean, the atoms just rising up off the bricks over thousands of years. Because all of these buildings have got, like, you know, the bottom's missing. Like they've been hit off with some flood water. I'll show you a few examples along this vlog. So then you got this massive thing here, made of bricks. How many bricks in that, guys? Millions. And then it goes underground, seemingly. And what is that? There. This was a massive world in this Samarra. You can see why they went to war with Iraq, to hide and fuck all this shit up. See what I mean about entropy? Why would it really attack the bottom bit and not the top bit? That makes no sense to rot from the bottom, not the top. So it almost like water's come rushing through here, or water has been there on the ground prior to a flood, and it's just taken off all of this, which makes perfect sense. And we see it replicated all in Athens. We see it replicated all in the antique world. Is this bottom bit missing, which I don't think is entropy. I think it is worn away through water and water damage from floods. You see the same thing in British cities. I've seen it in Lincoln. I've seen it in Nottingham. It's got the same stone damage. Even Glastonbury had that damage. So I don't imagine how many bricks went into that. Wonder what these things were. This was a floor. These alcoves here, don't know. Probably some of the device of what this thing was. And look at the size of it. So it's seemingly as big as Baalbek, which we're going to look at after this as a contender, because the plaza deck, if you want to call it, to the temple of Bacchus or Belus. That looks like a face there. No, it's just me. So yeah, that's massive, isn't it? Why the big doors when humans are only little like this? Just incredible. But again, putlock holes. So this was for floors coming out, and you can see the original decoration there. Must have been something to behold. I was trying to imagine what it would have been like when it was up and running. Millions of bricks involved. The flat bricks, they're Roman. And then something come along to do this. Turn it all to tiny little bricklets. Wow. And any meltologists out here? How can you deny this has not been melted? Look at it. It's all red brick. It's not mud brick. It's red brick. And this is Roman. And it's all just fucked up and melted. And everything else is just bricklets. 1860s is showing that all of these antique sites are still in the afterthroes of an apocalypse. Look what come through here and did that. Try and imagine the forces that would rip the fascia off of there. And it just leave. I can't even imagine the forces that would do that. Because I know what it's not. Thousands of years of sandstorms and rain and what have you. It's not. Because look at these bricklets, these bits of the old world, just all strewn, and you see that everywhere. So there it is from outside. This is a rectangular enclosure. It did have water, and it's got a tower in the middle, exactly like what we've seen with Nineveh and Babylon in the old depictions. There seems to be a lot of mud gathered up on these pillars, and a lot of the but it's the same structure essentially. But as I said, you can see Nineveh in the modern day. I think this is a strong contender for Babylon. Look at this. So Tower of Babel, Roman. Well, this definitely looks the case. And in the middle is a wonky column, or a column, or a tower that has these, like a helter-skelter, exactly like Brigel's picture. So it looks a little bit like Colchester in England after the Roman remains there, which we're going to look at later in images of the day, for a comparison. And you will see that they're identical. And nowadays, just sheep. But can you imagine the size of this mosque when it was up and running? Biggest on earth. And all of it has been reduced to bricks, except for the foundations, essentially. In the modern day, people are going up this tower. They put steps up it. It's a lot bigger than you imagine. People are little tiny things on it here. And I think it's a strong contender. And it's in the same circuit board, old world setup, which we're going to look at in a little bit as well. It definitely looks like it's been covered in mud. And why they got these huge places out in the middle of nowhere, near no civilization. Look at the forces that did that. Looks to be rebab, maybe, is it? No. It's just dressing from the builders. Absolutely fantastical forces that must have done that. And this must have been a really massive wood building, but it looks a bit Christian to me. But maybe the style over the door more Moorish, but that's North African, and we're in Persia, maybe Persian. That tower there, the corner where everything's missing, was massive. This is a massive thing out in the middle of nowhere. And this out in the middle of nowhere, part of the complex as well. Melted. Completely destroyed. And there's the mosque they got in the modern day there on the site near to it. I find it interesting that these are 1860s. Why would they have a chain link fence outside? Chain link fence. Or is that a Faraday cage? Because this is a device. And it's still active with its golden dome. I mean, minarets. Food for thought. Anyway, so look at it. It's all in the middle of nowhere. This some Samarra site in the middle of nowhere. And you can see all the old civilizations, walls, streets, houses disappeared off the face of the earth. It's some terrible apocalyptic happening. And you can see the other side of the walls a little bit better. But again, it's exactly the same rectangular setup and exactly the same Tower of Babel setup as well. Look at this. I try to imagine the forces. That's an unbelievable shot, that is. So I wonder why they never really put this as a contender, especially when the dimensions are there and it looks like it, and the artists are using it as a template for the Tower of Babel. You think they would have mentioned that? Look at this. So windows blocked up? No. Some sort of alcoves from when the floors were in. Maybe some cottages. And I don't know what that is. Slit. But all the bottom bit is all gone because, maybe water coming through. It looks like water damage to me. And look at the size of these things. For scale. That's why that guy's there, for scale. These are massive guys. But very Roman looking. And that Roman wall there. So a massive complex. Biggest mosque in the world. It looks identical to Nineveh, identical to all the old engravings of Babylon. Identical. Why is it not? Funny how they put him in there for perspective. Look at the height of these walls. Wow, this is a massive complex. And look what ate away all of this here. All the bottom and all of the top bits left. Water. Going rushing through here. All this was underwater. All this was flooded. You can see. All the bottom bit and all the top bit, it's fine. Rain comes from above. Water comes from below as well. I think that's what's going on. So there it is. Well, amazing sight. I'm so chuffed that I come across this, and I think it's a strong contender. There it is. Circuit board city technology, all gone to rack and ruin. Captured 1860. I wonder why they blasted that through there. That's not a door that was there before. Interesting. Again, all the brick exposed on the bottom. So trillions and trillions of bricks. And you know, we're looking to, when we look into Baalbek, how they're building or getting these materials, but how out here, red brick as well. It's all got to be baked. And you need red clay, and I'm afraid you only get that in a place like Europe, and this place is deserty, so you're not going to get a red brick there, but we're seeing Roman brick. So, you know, this place was built when this place was green. It was a green land, the Fertile Crescent. So we have 673 of you watching. Thanks for popping by. Thanks, Vibes. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Thanks, Jess Soldier, love. My friend Melage is in the house. Okay, so amazing. Well, we got a long way to go, yeah? Hippie, buckle in, guys. So what we're going to look at now is Baalbek. This place is mind-blowing. Again, Heliopolis. This is the capital of Babylon. We're in Babylon now. This world here was tattered up by the Romans, and it got taken out. These columns here, these are all remaining of the Temple of Belus, or the Temple of Bacchus. And they are on these megalithic blocks, which are notable. They are mind-blowing in complexity and size. We'll go into how they arrived and got this stone here in a moment, but it's mind-blowing. Can you see all of this old stonework which have been on the face of these unbelievable size megaliths? So these pillars, 120 feet high. This is all that's left apparently after an earthquake in the 1700s. Interesting, these things at the top, a little bit like Christian imageries, but you got that scrolling thing, which you get with the Phoenicians, and Corinthian tops. This is Roman, okay? And this temple is the biggest in the world. It is mind-blowing in comprehension and size. Can you see an old roof? There would have been a building coming out that way. So it is beyond belief, the size of Baalbek. Now, what you find is the base itself is 1,000 steps. The base of the Tower of Babel is 1,000 steps for 1,100. So it's the same size base, but we can't say whether it was this great court was the footprint for the Tower of Babel, because there seems to be missing masonry. Bit like, what did they do with all the mud? What did they do with all the masonry? So this temple is mind-blowing. But above all, from above, okay, it looks like a circuit board. No, it looks exactly like a circuit board. There it is today. You can visit Baalbek. It looks very Roman to me. And, you know, this thing here has been falling down since time immemorial, but it hasn't fallen yet. And what we're going to look into is these. Now, there's the series Ancient Aliens. You get like Sukalo saying, oh, yeah, well, the platform for the plaza on top of Baalbek is only big enough because it's like for the mothership to land on, you. So, you know, they know of these tunnels that are inside and behind these megaliths that are 800 tons apiece. There's only a few that they put this entire building on, and it's built by giants. In some narratives, it was built by Cain. So wall called Solomon's or Cyclopean courses are Baalbek. Cyclopeans, because only the Cyclops is going to put them there. Look at the size of these in that old engraving. And this is in Lebanon also. This I find this fascinating. And they got this Antiquitech cage in this corner. I'm not sure what's going on with this, but this piece here is 1,300 tons. It's the biggest carved stone in the world. And they were going to deliver it to the Baalbek complex. Apparently, it never got there. How, on horse and cart? How were they going to get it there? Well, apparently there's tunnels that go from this quarry all the way under the ground, and they come up in Baalbek under that platform. I shit you not. That's an interesting bit snapped off. I wonder what's with that. That doesn't look like a bit of quarried stone. This looks like it's actually not quarried at all, but fallen over. There is another example. Baalbek in the Lebanon area, Baalbek area, of these huge megaliths that are apparently on the base. And this is the Asian quarry, apparently. There is 1,200 tons of stone, sandstone. And the Temple of Bacchus image, all of the pillars are still intact in there. They've got a town around it now as well. It's looking a little bit greener than I imagined. And these old images are from the 1800s. These are glass plate demographs, and they're really early, and they're the first images you will see when they discovered Baalbek. These are the first images. Can you imagine walking in and seeing things that are too big for people, and then seeing the print of Rome, owls there, look. Celtic banding. That's interesting. But mind-blowing. Scale. Doesn't even look that bad in these photographs, this temple entrance here. And the size of these column tops. Can you imagine the size of the structures? This is the ancient fucking world, guys. They're supposed to be on horse and carts. How are they doing this? This is the top of a 120-foot high column. How do you think they're getting it up there? In the ancient world, in the Bronze Age, apparently. Make any sense? Advanced technology. A lot of this is probably 3D printed on some massive scale anyway. So these megaliths that you're witnessing on the bottom, there is that giant stone. So it's there in the old photographs. They managed to capture it. But it's immense. It is unimaginably big. Built by giants. 4 giants. The Phoenicians. Because only they could have lifted the stones. And why? You know, this is basically, there is the artist's interpretation, right, from an excavations in 1911. That was the last that was done. Okay. And they map out a circuit board city, but the size is ridiculous. So the complex located on the immense raised plateau of 5 meters. So that's that plateau or that plaza. It's 5 meters, 16 foot in the air. Over an earlier T-shaped base consisting of podium, staircase, and foundation walls. These walls were built out of 24 monoliths. Only 24 monoliths, guys. At the lowest point weighing approximately 300 tons each, and the tallest retaining wall on the west, and the second course of monoliths containing 3 stones, only 3 stones, which is 62 feet long, made of limestone, 800 tons apiece, and they were apparently unused in a nearby quarry here, which I just showed you, and often exaggerated, but they say it's around 1,100 stones. The 5th largest stone is 1,200 tons, lies in the same quarry. This quarry is slightly higher than the temple complex, so no lifting was required to move the stones. Thought the foundation there run 3 enormous passages the size of railway tunnels, because they were railway tunnels. So that's how they got in there, through massive tunnels that are under the complex from the quarry, apparently. So there's the Temple of Bacchus and the Temple of Jupiter. There's a academic argument about which temple belongs to which god, and the Lebanon one. Now, the Lebanon is Phoenicia, as you know. So this place was definitely Phoenicia, Baalbek, and their capital, Heliopolis. Okay, so, but it definitely looks like it's been buried a lot. These look like the tops of pillars, and they look like they should be going a damn sight lower. and it was a huge mosque. Anyway, so Baalbek, 1,000 feet. It could be a contender, for, I guess, for the Tower of Babel. But what if it is just a tower? Bear in mind that it's all circuit board cities, Goddage. He confused all the languages. Everyone's speaking Babel. Everyone's speaking in different tongues. No one language anymore. Everything is confused. This is a tower. It's also a Tower of Babel because it uses phonetics in the English language and all of that in its algorithm. What if that's what we're talking about? And the Tower of Babel is an analogy for what is happening now with the internet and the awakening. And this thing here, the Tower of Babel. Why not, guys? The Tower of Babel. Now, we're going to move on, new subject. So I definitely think we're going to look at other contenders or other places in this vicinity which show signs of Armageddon. Okay, guys. But I definitely think Baalbek is a good contender, but there is missing stone, so no. But I definitely think Samarra is identical to the images of the old depictions of what Babylon, the city, and the tower look like, and it's still there today. So why isn't it? Because they want to big it up. It went 3 miles fucking high. So, remember, hang on. Let me just delete these a second. Now, remember I mentioned these incredibly detailed pictures that you see in the Lee Van Leha atlases that are like, what's going on? Exactly. They are from a bird's eye perspective. And I proposed he was using some sort of technology to capture what he was seeing in real life. What you say, Matt? He was witnessing the building of the temple of the Tower of Babel. Maybe. So they used this in the past, the camera Lucida. Now, isn't that funny? How it's almost lucid, but it's also Lucifer, isn't it? So the camera Lucida they had in the past, was a laser, or a prism, and it would basically superimpose an image onto paper or canvas for the artist to trace. This is how grandmasters were pulling off, say, for example, the Mona Lisa and some of the old sculptures as well. Here's the evidence. Also got some old books showing this technology. So it's a prismatic projector, and it will send an image onto a canvas or paper for an artist to copy. And this is the camera Lucida, and it will give you like some of this. This is a video that I can link, which is a guy in my emails, Brian, spelt in the Welsh way, linked to me, and highly interesting. I'm not going to play the volume, but what it will say is The Secret of David Hockney book, and it talks about exactly what I just explained to you. Okay, that they were using a projector and they would superimpose it onto a paper or a canvas through this lens, a bit like camera obscura, and this guy shows you an example of using it in the modern day. It is very doable. They were doing it, okay? And they were coming up with incredible still art, which always blows my mind to think how they were pulling any of this off. Still art, if you've got a projection and you're putting it straight onto a canvas, why wouldn't you? They had it. Still art and lifelike, hyper-realistic art, like that apple there. That's nothing to do with me. I didn't actually paint that. Okay. Hyper-realistic art of lifelike people, lifelike scenarios, like all of that stuff going on in there, which apparently has been painted. And some of the masterworks. He's just doing it with the old school. That's really trippy, isn't it? It's beautiful. The old school easel and paintage and a bit of blending, but or to achieve this sort of affair, I think they were definitely using that camera. Okay, look at that in an old depiction there. It's like a Tesla tower. And it's also mind controlling the poor little mousey in bed. No, that's the first ever sneaker, by the way. So let's have a little look through. There's Bacchus, god of wine, fertility, which gives everyone liver failure eventually. And I think they're talking about something else anyway, probably adrenochrome, something. So anyway, I think that camera is definitely. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, that's naughty. We're definitely using that sort of technology, is what I think, and for the sculptures as well. It makes perfect sense. This is Electrum. Okay, I've talked about this in my first book. The properties of this unbelievable conductivity. And this electrum was thought to be over all of the obelisks that you would witness in antiquity. They were all covered in electrum because they were a technology. Sorry, I don't know. That just slipped up. Don't know what that is. Sorry. Seems to be all sex stuff now. Don't know. Don't know what's going on. Anyway, hyper-realistic art, like, you know, capturing that. Could they have used camera Lucida? I think so. Okay, these are really cool images anyway. So let's move on through them. Oh, look at this little Christmas card here. May yours be a joyful Christmas. Here's a picture of a dead robin. Oh, thanks, Auntie Betty. That's nice. Remember, Jesus died. No, wasn't he born? Oh, yeah, that's it. You don't really know, do you? No, I don't. I've never actually read the Bible or been to church. I watched Jesus Christ Superstar on the telly. That was good. What do you think, Adolf? He makes nice pictures of flowers. A bit gay. I don't know. He's arty, isn't he? So let's have a look. So, oh, John Waterhouse, my favourite post-Raphaelite author, artist, and he gets hyper realistic. Is he out there in the forest, out there in the woods? That tapestry is going to drag in the water. So that's our theory and legends. We're going to look a little bit of that later on as well. So hyper realistic art looks like it's a photograph. I think a camera Cydia would definitely deliver a nice image. So you got to watch his ginger with me, just saying. I don't know where that comes from. So, yeah, you don't want the old hag or one of these fuckers sipping on your chest, bugging you all night, saying stupid shit, because that happens. Ah! Egyptian mummified cats. Okay, we're moving on. So, I got plenty of images for later. So now we're going to have a little giggle, okay? Because this is what we do on Flat Earth British. 714 of you. It won't be too bad, okay? I'm sure your sensibilities will heal eventually. So what you've got here is a medieval depiction of the lead singer of In Excess, Michael Hutchins. What? Too much? Oh, it doesn't matter. Didn't see nothing, yeah? What we got here? Okay, so here's a chick sat in a Tower of Babel. This is what was really going on. So I'm going to fuck all your languages up. None of you are going to understand. Gringo. Señor. Gracias. Prego. Tissue. Das Badania. Konnichiwa. Ah. Fucking hell, ah. Anyway, all the different languages. All right, hang on. This is a little cake you can buy. And it's having a little dance. Pump up the jam, pump it up. While the beat is pumping. That's quite nice, isn't it? I'm not going to look at that anymore. Anyway, I'm not sure what this is. It's plasticine artwork. Let's have a look at that again. Because it look like there's something going on there. Maybe nothing. I don't know. So, yeah, the moment I sprung into life, I fought 50 other billion spunk bubbles and battered them all. And I won. And I got born. What does that mean? It means I was much more epic than all of them other spunk bubbles. Meaning, I'm epic. Yeah? And it all come out of a jackpot. My father's, apparently. But yeah, that's how it all happened. Yeah. Here is science guy, okay, Bill Nye, which means I lie. And he likes to wank stuff off like constantly. If he's not wanking himself, he's wanking a balloon or a space rocket model because he's a wanker. Wanks a lot. Okay. Ton of wanking. Here is a couple of ladybugs deeply in love. Take it. I love you. Gimme. Okay. Happy time. Okay, spread that donut. Okay. Feel happy? Do you feel weirded out? Do you feel strange? Yeah, you're meant to. Okay. Oh, 1950s bird. If she's going to take her top off. Oh, please, God. Don't stop there. No, it almost... 1950s bird. 1950s titties. Denied. Fuck. Oh, Batsy. Batsy gets down and dastardly. You want to see how Batsy dances? But this is what happens when you wear your underpants on the outside of your trousers. You get all go-go dancery. Apparently, Burt West had loads of action. Apparently. Bet he did. Use the alley shuffle. Okay? Use the alley shuffle. Okay? Floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee. Don't fuck with me. Alley shuffle. It's pretty quick, isn't it? I can do a quicker alley shuffle than that. I'm not bragging, but I can. I was famed for my alley shuffle. Oh, yeah, that's a good pot. Oh, yeah. So, Herman Munster just bought a bag of weed. Apparently, weed has just gone legal in his state. So he's like, it's not a crime anymore. He's getting down his old Gregory Peck, as you do. Herman, it's high as fuck. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, or before I went to America Land, we had the Anne Margaret Appreciation Society. I've scrapped that. I love she's beautiful. Now we're in the Racar Welsh Appreciation Society because she died, and I'm crying. I cry. Okay, there's my chance gone. Okay, it's not true. Tom Cruise is not. Tom Cruise isn't shagging Paris Hilton, is he, guys? That's not real, is it? Please don't tell me that's true. It is it? Tom Cruise is shagging Paris Hilton. Fucking bastard. Ow. There she is again. Look, goddess of love. Look. Okay. She's telling you she's a goddess. The way she's moving. She's moving like a goddess. So that was just for me to cheer me up. Don't have to. Wow, a big bird there. That would be brilliant. Imagine having a bird or a date with a 6'8" giant fluffy woman in a bikini. That would be terrible, wouldn't it? No, it would be fan-fucking-tastic. Okay. Here's Jimi Hendrix burning his guitar. Okay. They said they'd buy me a new Telecaster. They give me money. And they said, here's the petrol, Jimmy. Okay. Burn your guitar. Okay. Star Spangled Banner. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what that statement actually meant. She never actually told anybody. Okay. Ginger, have you seen a vibrator this big before? No, I haven't. I bought it for you. Do you like it? No, not really. No. Look, I know it's massive, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Oh, here's Bill Nye again, talking shit on the phone. Actually, I think what he's doing is he's ordering a rent boy. That's what they do, isn't it? Him and Hugh. So, got any photographs, Hugh? Yeah. Take control, woman. Now, hands up who thinks the Aeroplane is one fucked up film. There's some things in there that should never have got through the process of like filmmaking, but they do. Okay, line up. Take control, woman. Okay. Okay. Here's the pilot of this plane on the film Aeroplane. He's a happy blow-up pilot. We'll see more from him later. Why he's so smiley and happy. And ever seen a grown man naked? This is the thing that a pilot really should say to the boy that goes in the cockpit. Unfortunate name, cockpit, isn't it? And in the movies, it's Hollywood, isn't it? And they're all fucking pedos, so it makes perfect sense. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. So here's happy times. This is what, you know, when you're on your transatlantic flight, 9 hours, you don't see anything of the cabin crew, do you? No? Do you know what they're doing? They're doing this. And that's a happy little blow-up pilot right there. Yeah? Happy days. Oh, I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue. God, great. 70s drugs. They were brilliant. Do you like movies about gladiators? No, not really. You do, don't you? Okay. Yeah, it's Scooby and Shaggy high-fiving. So, yeah, I got a gang now, right, guys? Once I was Neo, Cheryl's was Trinity, and Tom Campbell was the architect, and Jason Brashears is Morpheus, because Morpheus always takes the flak, like Jason. So, yeah, and Dawn is the oracle. Yeah. So apart from that, we're also ghost hunters or treasure hunters or antiquity hunters. Yeah. We haven't got a Scooby-Doo. I got a lucky Scooby-Doo in my window. Have you a lucky Scooby-Doo? No. There he is. Man's best friend. Scooby and Shaggy. I gave Scooby snacks. They killed it with Scrappy-Doo. It went to shit. So, if this ever happened to you, next time you find yourself running through a wheat field or in a field and you have a biplane chasing you, a machine gunning you, what do? Do you lay down? Do you run at it? Do you zigzag? Zigzag's a good strategy, actually, but they could work that out and catch you on the zigzag. So, answers on a postcard to FEB box, PO box, okay, along with any complaints to my box, my empty box, of how to survive that. Okay, great way to cut it. Okay, that's something to do with the Spanish Inquisition. Okay, this gentleman's hanging around, and the lady vagina is drinking Tic Tacs. Tic Tacs is good drugs. Okay, that's improper. But he's a penis, apparently, and she's a vagina, and he's at Tic Tacs, so he's feeling confident. That happens every day on the street. Yeah, that's what I think about things. Somebody was talking about me earlier. My ears were burning. This is me on the beach in California. Woohoo! I have to find some Speedos to wear. Yeah, definitely. No, I watched this 3 times and I never even noticed there was a cake. I know what you're thinking. What cake? I know there's a cake. There, she touched it. The cake. The cake. You can't see it. Okay, I'm cake blind myself. Like I said, it was like hysterical blindness. I didn't see the cake for a while. Anyway. Here's my post this morning. We were so excited to get Flatterday that we had a firework display. And it went into the shape of a happy penis, a squirty penis, which is good. This is the reason you should have took mushrooms before you started. Okay, so that is funny time. We're moving on. Okay, don't be confused. So this is in Jordan, Jerash, and we're going to look at a couple of these because they're mind-blowing, and we're moving on with some all different types. Meathead, Arwin, different types of interesting historical stuff is what we're doing. Okay. Somebody just give me a thumb drive copy thing link. I hope that works because I'm having a cow of a time with it all. Me and my mouse. Anyway, you will all get at your brilliant deal. It will all be there very, very soon. Don't not worry. And you'll have all of the images in the world. So this is Jerash in Jordan. Also Phoenicia. Also screams of Rome. Screams of the Phoenicians because you've got the shells. You do see a lot of their iconography, but I'm not sure what's happening with these stones on top. But again, it's quite big megalithic stones. And this, what you find, these are early photographs, also 1860s, first photos probably, is a giant civilization. I can't believe I haven't heard more about Jerash. Excuse me. These pillars sticking all up out the ground, they were the holding roofs up. Can you imagine the size of the roof? And there it all is. The complex. Everywhere in these photographs, 1860, is showing a similar level of destruction. Meltage. Look at the size of these stones for the antique world. And all of this rubble and all of this stones. What's moving? Megaliths. And look at the size of the doorways. Again, why? That big. Something flying through there, definitely. People probably. So yeah, it's a massive site, and it's of megalithic stone. It's not the same brick as you witnessed in Baalbek or Samarra. It is this huge stone, large cobbled stone. You see, megalithic stone. But again, the whole place is just shattered beyond belief. Look at the size of these columns. And I noticed that somebody's done repairs. I'll show you in a minute. So these are laying down. So somebody's placed them pillars in there. I'll show you some other evidences in a minute. But look at the size of that dude to the columns. And these were holding up a roof. The size is immense, just like Baalbek in Jerash. And I haven't heard too much about the place. Here it is again. Look at the size of this temple, that wall. I like the way they put a person in for perspective. Massive temples. And these temples, what's going on with the temple of, Sol or Bacchus or Jupiter? Circuit board city stuff. Look at this, all mudded in. This amphitheater, amp, like electricity, amp, meaning two uses, amplitude, ampere up, using the amphitheater. Yeah. So that world was massive. And it looks a little bit like Persepolis, looks a bit like Heliopolis as well. And it's big. This is a big device. I know the steps you think for people to sit on, but he doesn't look too comfortable there at all. I'm thinking this was some sort of water vortexing technology, and two uses, and generating a charge as well. Look at the state. What hit it? What hit it? Look at it. And reduced all of that amphitheater to stone. Mind you, there's entrances in there. Everything's got undergrounds. So this place is full of tunnels. That machine they used for the Channel Tunnel, where is it now? Sold it to China, did they? Is there tunneling underneath us, I think. They better not try and come up and take over, because they're only little. We'll be able to drop kick those fuckers. It ain't going to be happening. Okay, just saying, they're tunneling. So, this place is massive. And all of them stones are from the old, what was there, the city that was there. Every one of these bricklets is dressed stone. Oh my God. This place was immense. And it's in the middle of nowhere. This is the old world. Shattered by the apocalypse. Whoa. Look at it. All of the columns just laying down. And oh, that is so trippy. What forces could have caused that? Whole thing to just collapse like that. The Romans and these this doesn't even look like it needs composition. I mean mortar. These look like mortarless stones because they're hewed that well. In the case of the bricks, the Roman they used volcanic ash in their mortar, like dead. And it was rock hard. That's why a lot of it's still there today. Not so much for this, though, but it definitely looks like Roman pillars. My God, everything's just stones. All of that is all building. It's apart from the scale. It's the scale of the devastation. Look at the size of this place. Every one of those stones is part of the buildings. My God, that is just biblical, literally. And there's some of the stones outside, and there's a modern day town there in Jerash. My God, it does have a lot of similarities to Baalbek, its scale, its temples, Corinthian tops, but the whole thing's just so messed up. The biggest temple complex in the world is the Parthenon. It's on the top of Mount Olympus in Athens. And that thing looks exactly like this. It's all apocalyptically smashed to shit. And all of those stones. What can make that happen? Just unreal devastation. Look at that. And it really does look like it's happened not too long before these photographs. It really does. And the temples go right off into the distance. All of them white bits there were bits of city. This was an immense city of the ancient world. Repeated pictures. So that is Jerash. We got some more photographs of the apocalypticness of this part of the world. We're moving on. Tarot. I've shown some tarot cards in the past, but these are really early. These are from 1760. The ones I showed last time a little bit later, excuse me. And I think because they're to do fortune, I think that they tell us everything about what's happening in this realm, is what I think. So what is that exactly? There's water bursting out of a church machine on top of a ball, which is on a chalice. Okay. Well, some of these it'll be self-explanatory. They do give you a lot of goblets, which look like they got blood in them, and some geometric shapes, which got numbers on them, and no pictures yet. Okay, so Roy the Coop, there he is there with his happy hat on, because he looks like he's got some horns going on, and he's got a massive red-topped baton, and he's doing the old I'm a little teapot, short and stout thing. And again, another royal, this time with the crucible and the crown and the scepter, because nothing new under the sun. And they do the same today, because King H just done it. The old sausage finger. So Cavalier here on a tiny little donkey. He's got the Holy Grail full of blood, or the goblet, which looks like it's got goblet looks like it's got blood. Also that. Valet de Coop. Or coup, and the 1760 Infinity S. Interesting little iconography on that. So they're going to tell your fortune using these, apparently, 1760. And you can pull that card up. Cavalier with a baseball bat with a tiny horse. And here is baseball bat. But we've got flames coming out of this one. And a chick holding it. Don't know. But one thing this looks like is fasces. Looks like fasces. Yes, that doesn't. That does. That looks like fasces. And that he looks even more like two fasces bound together. Huh. Wow. Even more complex fasces. Weird. Wow. Okay. So Roy the Baton, he's got a big baton and a funny hat and some Phoenician armor. Okay. She's got a big feather. Reign of Baston. And he's got a bat as well. Baseball bat. So you get to the end. Oh, look. That's definitely a weapon. Is it the sword and the crown with all them sparks of whatever coming off? So I don't know what that means if you pull that card. But some of the later ones are pretty self-explanatory, especially when you hit the old skeletons. You know what I mean? Okay. So elliptical bits and strange King Age. Okay, let's move on down to the end. So I don't know how they're going to tell you your future, but some of the end ones are a bit weird. Le Mans, well, that's the end. You get a woman that looks like Venus. Juggage. And noise, judgment from above. Everyone's in the water praying. Oh shit, we're dead. So judgment. And that one's the soul. The sun's going to get fucking hot and fry your asses. Oh, really? Should we get in the water? There will be any. It's going to evaporate. Oh, fuck. Okay. Stay out. You can go out at night. It'll be cooler. Okay. La toilette. No, it's not toilet, is it? Okay. She's having a little wash in the pond, as you do. Personal hygiene is essential. And there's the Mason or the Building of God, which is a tower. Nostradamus' depictions. Michael, his son, he shows a tower which has been hit by flames. And similarly with the Tower of Babel. This one's been hit by flames from above. Zap, zap, edge. Okay. Diablo. So this is the devil. He's got two people with horns on their heads, with tails, and they're chained to him. And he's got a pair of titties. He's got a little willy and titties and wings and a silly face and a silly blonde hair, which is weird for the devil. Yeah, it makes sense. The devil would have titties. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, if you know. And death. Okay, he's coming to cut everyone's heads off and do gnarly shit like you do. So there they are, the tarot cards, the hangman. Apparently that's bad shit if you pick that card. You've got to pick the lover card. That's what you've got to do. Like in the film with James Bond, Live and Let Die, I think it is. The one when they're in New Orleans and he manages to score Dr. Quim, medicine woman. Jane Seymour. So I'll link them up later. We don't want to be taking all day on them. And this is just me showing you that the Great Wall of China is nothing like Chinese architecture. This is a book of 90 images of crazy bridges and crazy architecture of the Chinese from 1700s. Okay, so they're built in this. None of it looks like anything to do with the Great Wall of China, but what it does look like is it's got antiquitech. They're made of paper. None of them are made of stone. This one's got bells on top, resonators. So they have a lot of bunko booth type of affairs and gates and portals. Essentially, same as what the Romans have, really, isn't it? This looks Roman. I think the Romans were there. Well, they were. There's enough evidence online. That one's a weird one. And then there's their bridges, which are made of weird stick. They're ornamental. They got a bit of antiquitech going on. And they got bunko booths. Lots of little bunko booths, which are ornamental with antiquitech. But nothing looks like the Great Wall of China. Like nothing. And they got antiquitech boats, which are not junks, with some weird aerialage going on. They are rather big. So antiquitech-age on the ship-age. Okay, it's going into fauna. So nothing in there looks anything like what you see for the Great Wall of China. Like nothing. But they do go into these, they build walls with paper, but they use geometric shapes like this for their boundary fences, etc. Really pretty. And geometric shapes. Also some of their vessels, but not really a wall. And not really anything to do with the Great Wall of China. So that is what Chinese architecture looks like. Now, stuff happening on the scene. People are saying like, oh, when we having a Flat Earth British meet? When we doing this? When we doing
Nothing can hold me back. Free your mind, free your soul, be yourself, let it go. Through the highs and the lows. Nothing can hold me back. Free your mind, free your soul, be yourself, let it go. Through the highs and the lows. Nothing can hold me back. Free your mind, free your soul, be yourself, let it go. Through the highs and the lows.
So, how many we got in chat? 600 of you still in chat. Welcome. Or 675, because I've also got the Tartaria channel up and running. So, you puffed out, yeah? Got quite a bit to go, guys. Okay, we got a lot of good stuff to go. Got my images of the day, other shares of other atlases and stuff, and about another hour's worth. What was that, Nora? Talking about my microphone. That was what messed up the mic. No, sounds fantastic. I'm happy with that. Good to see you, Isabel. What's happening, Spa? One more quarter. Good to see you. Holding proud, James Itch. Good to see you. They use tractor beams from land hidden in the tower supporting the dome. Tractor beams. I do sort of think they're a thing. Do mention it. Vibes, lovely. Juicy Bob. So I was thinking about, like, you know, if it was 3 miles high or 8 in some narratives, that's ridiculous. So Three Fingers, good to see you, my bro. He's in a Tartarian chat, I think. I've got 2 chat feeds going. David Dickinson, good to see you. Magavelli, good to see you. Brother Alva Billy. Lovely Joe. Blue face smiling Three Fingers. OG Scotty is in the house. Marty Party. Marty Farty Party. Marticus Farticus, third, Esquire. Vibes, good to see you. And DNTP's mid for shouting Roger Dodger. David Garland. I was mugged by 6 dwarfs last night. Not happy. That happens, David. Happens more than you can imagine. Yeah, them dwarfs, little fuckers. Hi, George. Good to see you. JJ. I had a dwarf. He used to have like a World Is Night thing. He used to run around Cardiff in Queen Street. And he literally kicked me in the ass. And then he said I was Jesus. I said, I'm not. It's just you. And he kicked me, tried to kick me again. Have you ever seen you ever seen a dwarf trying to kick themselves in the face in the circus? Like it's almost as funny as Axl Rose falling off the stage. Almost. It is really, really funny. So I'm going to bring up some pages of next stuff to show you because I've got quite a bit to go. Okay, we're an hour or so in. Next, we're going to be looking at my fantastic images of the day. Excuse me. If you would, please share this out. It's early days. We've got Flatterday tidbits coming up. We're going to do them next, and then I'm going to share some more antiquity with you. Okay. Let me bring up another thumbnail. So, yeah. Thumb drives, the book thumb drives, I've got a few of. I've printed off or copied as many as I possibly could. But the image ones are literally one on each of my device, and they take like, just over a day to do. Unfortunately, but just be a little bit patient. They'll be there in the next week or so, and I will have them off to you. So thank you for everybody who bought one. So what we're going to look at now is more antiquity. I have a stunning, I know I was going to show you Homs. We'll look at that a little bit later. But first, I'm going to share screen. I'm going to look at some Flatterday images. So thank you, Annie. Good day to you in Australia land. Scatterbrain. Anonymous Apocalypse. Okay. Mickey's in the house. He's been with me a long while. So this is like, if you're new to my channel, we don't do things like YouTube, yeah, because they're all like, they talk in a YouTube manner, and it's like, it's proper weird. They all do like, today on YouTube, it's really important that we should do this. And they talk in a YouTube manner, and it's like really annoying to me. So we do things a bit differently. What we do is try to just be like real. We find it works a lot better. Okay. So James Jenkins, hi. Everybody, Neil, good to see you all. Make sure to share this out if you do have the ability to. Subscribe to my channels, because I have 4, if you like. I've got thousands of videos, and there's loads and loads of content to last forever and keep you very, very busy if you're on the Flat Earth British realm, which you are. 600 of you are right now. So, okay, let's move on. So we're looking at now Flatterday tidbits. Now, some of these may be rude, maybe not. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. So the Cupid, okay, who keeps shooting his poison arrow, okay, and making people loving on one another, which is not a bad thing. But apparently, Eros is Cupid. 5 raids an enraging child. Okay, so not really a child. They're more like grown up. But I found this interesting. The third great ancient main road is known as London Stone, or elsewhere, Watling Street. Now, Watling Street is an old Roman road which goes from north to south for miles and miles in Britain. But it's Watt, like Anchor Watt or Watt, electricity, Watling Street. And it's the name may compare to the Ut or up of the Egyptian opener of the ways. Isn't that interesting? So like a sacred road, and associated again with electricity. I find it interesting that the Pics, the Romans named the Scottish or the Celts, the Picts. And the reason is for picti, the Roman word for picture, because these Pics were painted ones. They were covered in paint. Do you think we'll ever get there? No, I doubt it. What is it? I don't know. So that is people in Ellis Island waiting to get over to New York and then go off to do stuff. So what's happening here is he's seeing if she can blow the candle out, a bit like they do with ping pong balls. I don't know why that came up. It just happened. Okay, be a cunt, my child, said by Jesus Christ. Apparently, don't quote me on that though. So inside this post, don't show Jason this post. He'll go in there with a sledgehammer. They got a load of old books, and they've used it as packing for concrete work over top. That's disgusting waste of bookage. Big fluffy cow. Can you imagine having that into bed? A big fluffy cow. Oh, it's fucking lush. Imagine hugging that. You disappear in it. I was watching cute elephant videos this morning. So I wonder what these things look like melted. Oh, here we go. Great Exposition returns. You had the ones in St. Louis, Chicago, San Francisco. Got the old ladder lean. Got the size of that ladder, but the detail is phenomenal. Apparently only built for a tomato season. Knock that fucker down because it's rubbish. We don't need it anymore. Makes no sense. And they build massive. Why did they build massive? You see brick here, and it looks, I'm not being funny, but these things are supposed to be like temporary, built for like 8 months, 10 months, knock them down. But this looks like it's worn, and this looks old. In fact, all of it looks old. And look at the size of the statues. Nah, I think that'd been their time. That don't look like new. That looks old. Just saying, yo. Herbal correspondences chat. Oh, there's some good shit you can do. Okay. All of this is good for you. So don't go down a chemist. Yeah. Get out in the garden. Aloe vera, basil, bay leaves, blackberries, borage, catnip, cinnamon, cloves, coffee, comfrey, dill, fennel, garlic, ginger, jasmine, lavender, lemon, marjoram, mugwort, oregano, pepper, peppermint, roses, rosemary, rue, and sage and thyme are all cool shit. Yeah, anti-inflammatories, antitoxins, digestive aid, dill, analgesic for cloves, because if you've got a bad tooth and you put that on, it definitely works. Oil of cloves is amazing. So basil is luck, love, prosperity, protection, luck, and healing. Aloe vera, friendship, love, and relaxation, sleep. She's a witch burner. What did she do? She's been eating things that look like bits of grass. So roughage. Yeah. And she should have been eating pebbles for her stomach. And she's been saying words that we don't understand out of books, like long words. Have you been reading books, you witch burner? Throw a shoe at her. Burn the witch. Are we in a ship in a bottle? I've proposed this many times. There may be some clues. They sort of tell you, in a way, that we could be in a ship in a bottle. Okay, so here's the score with the old resonation on all of the old towers. We've got copper at the top, then mercury in the ball, a harmonizer, then a resonator. Frequency, because we've got all the bells, ching, 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 down into storage to be used later. And it also creates a load of charge for the circuit board cities. This is the gravestone of Dick Whittington and his cat. Apparently a Lord Mayor of London back in the day, but they felt the need to put a load of antiquitech on top of it. And why is it even there in the street? Where's the graveyard, the rest of the graves? How much for Nestle's milk? Still got that now. So there's Fort Wood and a picture of the Statue of Liberty. And it's got all laser beams coming out of it because we think that all them photographs are fake as shit. And there's hardly any anyway. And we think that thing was there already. And we think it's Lucifer, by the way. Oh, interesting artist. Interesting perspective of all of the slaves going into the cities to do their day's work, won't like shit about it, come home to their horrible families, and then die miserably. Because that's what everyone's doing. If you fall off there and break your leg, don't come running to me. My mother used to say exactly the same, and that makes no fucking sense. It's stupid. And I never ever fell off the wall much. Here's an Aeroflot poster from the 1970s. Interesting map they're using for an airline. Yeah. They know you. Here is a football stand in Highbury, Arsenal's ground in London. Okay. But in the days before they had big, massive stands. So what they used to do is they used to cram like 30,000 people in one stand. They used to do the same year in Cardiff. We had a stand called the Pop Bank, or the Popular Bank, the Bob Bank we called it, which could safely house 30,000 people crushed in there in one stand. And then they all jump up and down and everyone get crushed and killed. So I've been to the trenches of the First World War quite a bit. Never seen this crater. I've seen another crater, big one, but this is the Lochnagar crater. Apparently, it was made by mines, which blew up this entire ridge in the First World War. 800,000 tons, nearly a million, apparently, of amatol, high explosive, put under a hillside, and they blew it sky high. Thousands of Germans were entrenched in this year. But I do feel there was antiquity here. There's signs of some sort of stones and stuff. I think they were blowing up a lot of buildings during these giant mining operations in the First World War. But that's the Lochnagar crater, the biggest explosion ever created outside of apparently the atomic bombs. The window shook in London when that was exploded, and it's in Flanders. I asked my mother about this. She said it was bollocks. They say in antiquity that they woke you up with a pea at the window. They had waker-uppers. But when you look on Google and they show you pictures of waker-uppers, it's always her. Like, that's it. That is that evidence that people were being woken up for work. So I asked my mother, like, so did your nana or your mother know anything about knocker-uppers? She said, no, nothing about it. We had alarm clocks. It's like, yeah, that makes actually perfect sense to get you up for work. So I think that's bullshit in the soil. No mobiles, no television in sight, just a happy family spending time together. Yeah, they look all right. Nothing wrong with them. Mother looks pleasant. Looks like she makes a nice apple pie. Anyway, this is in Boston, and it's the old police station in one of the subdivisions, and it's a mud-flooded building made of all big red granite. There is an antiquity. And it's got a car park around the back, apparently. And there is, in the modern day, one of Boston subdivision police stations. And it's an old-world building. Okay. So if you look carefully at Debbie Harry, you can see Homer Simpson, look. Duh. So I wanted to see her this year in Cardiff, and she done Glastonbury. It was not all that good. So I was a bit disappointed. What you find now in this new weird world that we all found ourselves in is you get a load of rockers coming out, like 70 fucking 8-year-old Mick Jagger, and doing like they're like tribute acts to themselves. They are. It's really disgusting. A bit like Guns N' Roses. This is, you know, how shit are they? The Who are still pulling it. They're still doing a good job. Fucking hell. I seen, like, literally, I couldn't even believe it. I love Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh is fucking epic. Yeah, he's on a video the other day. He's an old guy, can't hardly talk, can't hardly sing. He's hanging around with that fucking puff Dave Grohl. Yeah, and they had some kids playing on the drums. It was dead weird and uncomfortable. There was something going on. And I tell you what, that fucking... So I was like, what happened to Joe Walsh? So what's happened here in Flat Earth British realm is all those rockers and all those old people, like, you know, always to think they were really cool, like Neil Young and stuff back in the day. Nowadays, I'm like, you're all wankers. You can't even do anything. You're all shit. Even Eric Clapton's gone and took a bit of a dive. So Modern Electric, here's a New York publication of Modern Electric, and they're showing you wireless telegraph oddities, wireless development of telephony, testing the modern electric locomotive, wireless, an electric sun alarm, so they had alarm clocks, a silicon detector, a construction of wave detectors, a long distance writer, a wireless around the world, a dynaphone, and electrical patents of the month. So all of this of an old New York magazine from 1908 in May, cost 10 cents, and it talks about wireless everything. So a little bit before all of the electric came down with well, it was around that time, isn't it? When was the first electrified building? Was JP Morgan's bank in Buffalo, New York, and that was around 1906, 6, I think. So yeah, just before. So it's a nice choice of picture, I thought, but it just shows you that Fibonacci sequence, okay, the golden ratio is exhibited everywhere, even in sweet bud, like that. Isn't that good? It's the fingerprint of God. So this is Dresden. Dresden in 1904 suffered a terrible drought. Apparently, the Elbe River dried up. And here are the pictures. So here's Dresden with massive bridges, and the Elbe was nothing but a trickle, a little stream. And so everyone went to look at the spectacle because it hadn't happened before in their history in dear old Dresden. And that bridge looks exactly like the bridges that went over the rivers that carried the Great Wall of China. They're the same arches and they're the same serrated bits that come out like a starford. Okay. It says Elb 1811 something there. But it's in July 1904. So here's a typical house of the 1970s. Not dissimilar to your house, my house in Britain. That picture there, I seen that in loads of friends' houses when I was a kid. You had vile wallpaper, which made you feel ill on acid and made you vomit if you were drunk and spin out. 70s wallpapers and curtains were designed for that, and carpets. This one's got a bit of a plain carpet. Now, what I want to bring to your attention is the size of the tin of Quality Streets. Today, it would be 10% as big as that. In them days, we had massive tins of Quality Streets for Christmas. And we had Rupert the Bear. I fucking hate Rupert the Bear. Anyway, so I thought this was a beautiful, beautiful decoration. Bit of a beautiful geometric design, and it's got a bit of mandala about it, 3-dimensionals going in, and it's got like a 69, which I thought was a really interesting number. 69, isn't it? Works for me. It's also a star sign, I think, but I don't think that's what they're saying. I think they're saying 69ers, guys. Maybe. So all these people in America in this horse and cart have all dragged themselves up to this building that they found. So they never really founded it, did they? They found it because there it is, and it's like mud flood window. It's all covered in shit and everything behind. It's in the middle of a Wild West town with all huts and stuff. And all of these people outside on horse and carts because they found it. And they did the same with the whole of America. So flying carpets, I think, are definitely a thing. I've talked about this image before. He's got what is essentially a phoenix in a vase. I don't know if that create lift. But if you had Fred like in the carpet with scarab stuff on them, or electromagnetic properties stuff, or B-wings, loads and loads of that, sewed in, then this thing could fly. And I think flying carpets were a thing in the past. I definitely do. And I've always thought it. I've got a flying carpet on the wall, and it flies. It does when I'm on it. So you're in Ethiopia. We have Antigua Head. So this guy, he looks after the Ark of the Covenant on his Tuesday nights off. And he's got an Antigua Head. Dome, 4 angels. This is a microcosm of the world we live in. It's electromagnetic structure. And he's got it on his head. So I think that St. Michael's or Saint Michel in Cornwall and in France are the tops of bigger buildings, which go much, much deeper, which we talked about many times. And it seems to be on some sort of starford. Here's a picture from antiquity of these crazy old water features they had. Something above that seems to be illuminated like electricity. So there is in St Michael in Cornwall. You have a broad walk that goes all the way up to it and a train, and it's an entire city. And there is. And I think that's Saint Michel. I think that's the French one anyway. And it's just a massive monastery with all tunnels inside and streets and everything. I'd love to visit it. So there they are, more bunco booths. We've talked about these umpteen times. There's no brass band playing in these. These are a device, probably for invigoration, just like organ technology. They stand under you. They probably come out with their high as fuck and feeling fantastic. It's a healing center. So the uglification of a nation, or the uglifications of nations, I should say. We did have these on the corner, full antiquitech, buildings with device, beautiful symmetry and aesthetics, and looked in place for its environment. And then they replace it with an ugly piece of shit. And it's so shit, it looks like a shit took a shit. Okay, it's that bad. Feel nauseous even looking at it. So here's some evidence in an old engravings book of an old antiquitech building, which is not quite a church, but it is showing you it's got a fleur-de-lis on top, some energy all the way around it, and some like energy coming off the top, showing you that these buildings are device and showing you that they create energy. So, you know, like this example, like, you know, this world that we see, this Greco-Romano world in Berlin, we see this replicated in St. Petersburg and all these other cities, but in Europe. But then you get these horse and carriages just gathered in the square. It doesn't go with that fantastic big Greco-Romano world that we're witnessing there. The size of it. It's like Baalbek, but never got the damage that Baalbek got. Makes no sense to me, guys. Zero sense that makes to me. So these things are all over antiquity. They got them on Flanders Cathedral, close to where I live, the first cathedral on earth. And they're in like little planters, and they look like they're plants, but you get them on the corners of roofs. They're like an ornamental plant, if you like, and these vases, if you like, and they're on the corner of lots and lots of buildings in antiquity. I think they're energy gatherers also. Eleanor in Montana, that looks a little bit out of place. It looks like it's Moorish, maybe Arabian, North African even influences, definitely Arabic. And it's in the middle of a field. That's all like glass. This building's old world. And it's in Montana. Why would they build that in fucking Montana? Why? Tampa Bay Hotel, Florida, USA. Again, looks Arabic. Again, looks Moorish, so North African, maybe Algerian, somewhere along them lines. In style, okay, and it is in Florida. And it's a big old red, massive hotel. And they're all over America. This is the old world. That was found. That was there already. How long does this ivy take to grow up anyway? All the way up to there. Years. But with Antiquitech, it's even got the crescent on top. As far as I last looked, you know, they weren't, you know, they're not like best buddies, are they? America and the Arabic world. Or they never used to be. Maybe they are now. But there you go. Weird. This is in Colchester, a city I have visited, and I've seen what they call the Boudica line, which is Boudica, and the Icenies, the tribe of this place. They had an uprising, fucked up what was Roman Britain in Colosseum, in Colchester, St Albans, London. They sacked while the Roman army was away in Anglesey, taking out the last vestiges of the Druids and murdering them. But as you can see, it's exactly the same brickwork and arches as what we witnessed on the Samarra 1860 pictures at the beginning of this vlog, which are in Iraq, which is Roman, and they're identical to that. It looks the same. Okay, So this is when I went on strike with the school. Now, what happened here is the stuff that I do now, I've always done. So this was in about 1980. It was when Billy Joel was #1 with "What's the Matter with the Clothes I'm Wearing? Can't you tell that I'm out of style?" So this is all the kids I grew up with and all my gang. Sort of breaks my heart to see this. Tank and Hilly and Evo and Max Stevens and Jenkins and Stevens there as well. Tony never made it. He's dead. And Stephen Crosspin, my mate. And this cheeky chappy on the corner, you may recognize, there's me. So the best part of this strike, right, is basically we're all getting expelled for dressing in skinhead stuff. Okay, except for stupid Tank because he was a mod. And he pushed me off a wall. I landed on a milk bottle and ended up getting infected and having gangrene and nearly lost my leg because of fucking Tank. Anyway, so I convinced everyone, let's go on strike. And the teachers came across the yard to try and get us all back in. And I shouted, "Brick 'em!" And everyone fucking did. I couldn't believe it. The teachers had run back in with all a big hail of bricks coming at them. It was one of my best moments. Anyway, so we marched to the city hall to tell them to go fuck off. We're not doing your shit anymore. Okay, give us a new headmaster, because the one they brought in was from a Borstal. And you know, he literally came me across my wrists once. My veins bubbled up in my hands, and I was really upset because I thought it might burst my veins and die, and I was in terrible pain. So I ran all the way home down this road here to my mother. I said, "Look what the headmaster done to me, man." She went fucking nuts. She dragged me straight back up there. She kicked his door open, and I said, "What the fuck do you think this is? You can't go hitting kids, brah." Well, not brah, but my mother didn't talk like that. But she told him straight. I had so much trouble in school. I got punched a few times. I had to throw a chair through a window to get away from a crazy teacher once, guys. He was literally trying to punch me in the back. I was only little. Mind you, I was winding him up and gaslighting him. There you go. He was a cunt. So serves his own right. So there you are. Looks like I've been up to all this protesting and trouble. There I am there on the fringes. Yeah, secret squirrel in it, making all this happen. Good times. Putin, he's not the same Putin. They replaced him. The actor Putin, he's not a bad actor, is he? He's got a bit of a cutchiness thing going on. He's got a star fort on his flag, surrounded by a laurel leaf. Just saying. They know. This is interesting. Never seen this until this week. This is real. And it is called Merlin's Mound. And it is in Marlborough College in Wiltshire. Marlborough College in Wiltshire. It's the second tallest Neolithic monument in Europe. So it's got quite a big, height to it. And there's a doorway that goes in. So there's all stuff inside of this barrow, what they call barrows. But I noticed it's got this circular path going all the way up and an indentation in the top. But interesting, I've never seen it before. There's one similar to it in Totnes, down in Devon, I seen, which had amazing big Mott and Bailey, or Mott. Don't worry. But this one's really crazy how they just jammed it in the town there. So that's in Wiltshire, England. This is good. This is near me in Wales. We have 800 castles in Wales. We're not short of castles in Wales. If you want to borrow a couple of castles, guys, I can sort you out. I don't own any. I'll just say you can have that one. This is a brilliant castle. This is Chepstow Castle. This is on the border in Monmouthshire, and it's on the tidal River Wye. Why? I don't know. And what you find with this, it's the oldest Roman fortification still in the world today. So all of these stones at the bottom of it are all cited to be Roman. And they've got still Roman fortifications, so not built by any of the later kings like John or Edward. It's not an Edward castle. Some of the older foundations are Roman, and they're still there today. And that is Chepstow Castle, the oldest Roman stone fortification building in the world, and it's supposed to have been built in 1067 during the Norman conquest, even though it's got Roman stuff. So the rest was built on top. Okay. Now, and this is an interesting, it's a contemporary artwork. Can't remember the name of this artist, but I've shown his artworks before. He seems to know a little bit too fucking much for my liking. Interesting, Towers of Babel's on fire with sphinxes above it. And interesting, the technology that he's thinking about, like portal technology with the pyramids. So I think this is what's going on. These gates of God, I think this is a way out. True magic is neither black nor white. It's both, because nature is both. And both good and bad. Check out the Eagles concert, 1970. Whew. Yeah? Take me to the limit one more time. That might be a good karaoke song, Cheryl. Maybe we should do a Take It Easy is a good one. So this is in Ireland, and it's a band, and it looks rather like the Tower of Babel. County Sligo in Ireland. Okay, they found. Okay, this is apparently Viking wear. This lady is from the Bronze Age. Not her. This lady here. His clothes are from the Bronze Age. So they put them on a woman. So basically, guys, the good news is, if you'd have been alive thousands of years ago when you was a Viking, yeah, the chicks walk around the field like that. It's not bad, is it? So the Vikings have pretty nailed it, really, didn't they? They had them big, thick animal furs for you to, do Viking stuff on later at night. You know what I mean? So this one's in Scotland. Look at this whole load of fucked upness. Why build that on top of the stones? And what are the stones originally? Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Hot damn! I know, Crypto Gator. Hot damn indeed. Please do not flush anything except toilet tissue. What do I do with my huge shit then? What if you're having a big kahuna? They're going to have to be more specific on toilet doors. So, good days are coming, guys. The good days are coming. If you shoot down a ganja drone, thank you, Jamie Robbins. That's really nice of you. If you do shoot down a ganja drone, you will be executed. Okay, so that's not going to happen. What was happening is you're gonna phone up, say, yeah. Can I have a quarter of OG platinum? Yeah, be there in 10 minutes. Okay, cost price. Can I buy one, get one free? Yeah, buy one, get one free today. Brilliant. And then the drone comes over, and it's got music as well, like dun 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 dun. No, better. Kina Barana. Dun 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 dun. Really dramatic. And then it drops the weed in your hand because you're standing by the front door. Good days are coming, guys. Do not despair the future. Okay? Embrace the future. The future is drone deliveries weed. We will all be very happy, won't we? Yeah. If anyone tries stealing your weed and nicking it, there will be death sentences for that, or at least 48 years in jail. In a box, in a wooden box. So, here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. You're looking a bit like a fella today. Hey. So, I know what you're all thinking. Yeah, in the film The Graduate, which is a fantastic horny film, by the way, did Dustin Hoffman actually really have sex with her in the real world? I'm just saying, sex with Anne Bancroft in them days. Yeah, I think it might have been a thing. I think it might have been, and if it's not, he did in the movie anyway. So yeah, the story is a horny older woman, Anne Bancroft, ka-ching, and he's a student, okay, and he gets they have a sexual revolution, gets really sweaty and stuff. Yeah, so it's a good film. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than I do. Right. In the 1970s, we had choppers. Here's a young British lady, modeling said chopper. Yeah. I didn't have one, or a boxer, or any of those. I made my own bikes with cow horns. Cow horns are big handlebars. Then you kill yourself. We were poor. Ancient Mayan versus modern microchips and circuit boards. I picked this up off a website on Facebook, and everyone was like, wow, how come no one knows about this? My mind is blown. I was like, well, yeah, I've been on about it for fucking years. Catch up. Anyway, so Mayans, circuit boards, and they all look like these plans that I've shown you for ancient cities, but we've literally nailed that home for years now, so I need to go on. So, this is the Amordor, okay? They're going to drag you down below and eat you. In the movie Time Machine, you have Rod Taylor. She was beautiful in Time Machine, wasn't she? So fresh and lovely. And he's going to eat her. Look at his, it looks so real that it's so crap, it's good, isn't it? Look at them non-gloves there. They look so realistic. So what's the face saying? They're not paying me enough. Anyway. Our Lord and Saviour, British man finds Jesus in a packet of bacon. Well, I don't think that could be Jim Morrison. Looking at that, I think it's rather more Jim Morrison, I would have said. But, you know, Jesus is not only available in the clouds when you're on a plane or on a piece of toast that you scraped, that you burnt. Okay, Jesus is also apparently on bacon, but I think that looks more like Jim Morrison myself. Who thinks that looks like more Jim Morrison? Definitely a mole mock. Yeah, they basically eat us. The sirens go off. Everyone just walks towards the underground things, the Mordorks, and then they eat our clats, which is not on. This is an ant. Close up. Listen, guys, ants ain't even ugly. I think that's cute. I think that's cute. I wouldn't like one 50-foot big in my bedroom. But that's not hard on the eyes. That's quite pretty. Ants are pretty, guys. Did you know that? Apart from their proboscis that sucks your brains out. Apart from that, they're really pretty. Oh, I didn't know Hugh's wife was Mick Hucknall. Did you? That maybe explains a few things. Yeah. He's gone really the wrong way, hasn't he? Yeah. 39 years working for Auntie, and now he's become one. Fat bum. Anyway, mind you can see why he got up to all that gnarly shit with his wife. No offense to you if you're watching Flattearthbritish British for a job, mate. You know, you fucking literally besmirch the Welsh people's name. Yeah. Yeah. If people finds out you're Welsh, they're going to think we're all flashing our bums on the internet and renting fucking crack addicts. Yeah. Which we don't. So The Exorcist, I wasn't old enough to go in the cinema. My Auntie Gaynor went in there and she was scared to go to the toilet on her own. She got really scared. I seen it on a video on Betamax, mitching from school, playing truant in my friend Billy's house. Because his parents went out to work, so we sneaked back and we'd always watch videos. I seen Evil Dead, Hellraiser, The Entity, all the best films I seen on the Mitch from school. But when he put The Exorcist on, I fucking shit myself. That Linda Blair, you know, your mother sucks jelly babies in hell. Ah, fuck me. All of that going on. I was like, this is too much for my Brian. And then he had a Doberman pincher called Satan, right? Which regularly had me pinned to the wall, going to chew my face off. So I got up to go to the toilet. Satan had me pinned to the wall. Yeah. And I was like, I got to go to the toilet. And I went to the toilet. I've never been so scared in all my life. There's a mirror on the wall. I don't want to look at the mirror because the devil's going to be in the mirror, obviously. Yeah. And I'm probably a little bit possessed because I just watched a bit of The Exorcist. So yeah, there was, when they showed this in Cardiff cinemas, they had all nuns hanging out outside and like vicars and stuff saying, ooh, you don't want to go in there. It's really bad. She puts a crucifix in a vagina. Anyway, and like the nuns should know all about that. So this is historical accounts of doghead men in an old book. Not sure what language that is at all. I couldn't even tell you. But they're showing you that there was a population of doghead men walking around in the past. And they had clothes and stuff. This one never. He's a poor one. But these ones are the elite dogs. Dogheads. Russian for God is bog. Like boghead. Bog. Godhead, boghead. And Dog is God in reverse. So the same might be a clue. This is in the Balkans. Check out the well feature thing or whatever that is with chains coming out of it and a demonic face. This is in the Balkans in Belgrade. What do you think? Crazy shit going down in antiquity, isn't it? Just crazy. This is a whole load of beautiful, isn't it? It's color and beauty and love and all good things are in this realm. Anyway, let's move on. That was my images of the day. And we're going to be looking at a Java temple. Now, this temple is called Brahmaman Temple in Java, and these photographs were taken in 1880 and they're mind-blowing. Again, whatever apocalypse happened to Jerash and Samarra happened in Java, a world away. But what they do show you is Angkor Wat, which is the biggest temple in the world. Angkor Wat style Antiquitech pagoda pyramid buildings and many more things to blow your mind in these photographs. I'm going to show you of that. Check this out. Again, with these big megalithic blockage. Huge doors again. And these temples, just for worshipping, I think that the vibration they give off, you'd have a euphoric religious experience without the religion. So again, whatever happened here makes it look exactly the same as the Greco-Romano world. It's in bricks. It's in small bits. It's smashed. Again, look at the size of this. There's a guy there with a pith helmet to give it perspective. It's almost as if no one has found these since they've, these are the first. You've got these guys like explorers, pith helmets, no one else around. Big pile of dress stone there, which has fallen off. Whatever's happened to the rest of that unbelievable temple. Vamana temple. Okay, look at this thing. Crazy looking flat stones, but the outside has been completely ripped off. It is completely devastated. Bit like Angkor Wat. But the top, from the top down, this is different to what we've seen in the other examples because it was all way at the bottom first and not the top. Getting the top here. That's a temple. And I find this Roman looking, some of these blocks. But they're Hindu, and they show you some of the Hindu gods. And this pyramid, not dissimilar to something you would see in Mexico or this enclosures. I think they were the same people, the Phoenicians. Look at this for an entrance. Details of facade. Giant door being blocked off. Because there's something definitely in there, but it's been blocked off. But the detail, there's a face over there with a moustache. But amazing detail, but all grown over with vegetation because it's all been there for so very long. Okay. And some of the bas reliefs of Hindu depictions of their gods. We'll see some different ones, some of their ladies going down. And it looks very much like Angkor Wat. But it's in Java. Semi-lotus. So, endless amounts of God knows what, so as far as the eye can see, stone, and giant, trippy looking pyramid buildings full of knobbly bits. And then out in the middle of nowhere, in the plateau, you've got these things, which have doors going where? Underground? Or are these for dead people? Hardly any esophagus or sarcophagus ever got any dead bodies in them. So that they are doing a bit of, they know about the Kundalini, they know with their positions and the way they're holding their back, they know the spiritual process all that time ago. It's one of the ruins there of God knows what, just a block, window blocked up, covered in vegetation, because this thing looks like definitely been underwater. Looks like been on the bottom of a fish tank. So we got monkeys, monkey, blowing up a cloud. These ones are basically giant fish coming out of the water, and they're being pummeled by monkeys with giant rocks. So intelligent monkeys. And the mountain became magically fertile. Monkey. So look at the detail in that. Indra. Indra, also thought to be Andrew, as in St. Andrew, the Scottish saint who got crucified, apparently, in the shape of the cross that you see on the Scottish flag. Indra is Andrew. I found in ancient documents and 2 sources, and I posted about it before. Beautiful depictions, carvings. Beautiful. So we got some dancing ladies, maybe a bit of carnage going down, bit of fisticuffs, bit of a knifing going on there. Somebody's on the floor, got a bit of a fucking up, excuse my language, and they're not doing nothing over here. He's got a wrist armbands on, some sort of tech. Okay, see if we got any more. See if we get any dog heads or anything. These are a weird looking bunch. Look at them. Weird hair and stuff as well. But the hair, I think the headwear is definitely a tech as well. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so we got some dog edge here again on these bas reliefs in Java. She looks a bit like, but these ones, they're Ganesh. Oh, they are dog type heads. And even the king. So he's lost a bit of his face, but he looks a bit dog headage. So this is all really old world stuff. You know, the Veda is supposed to be the oldest in creation. And it's supposed to be 6,000 years. But I think the Sanskrit is a big clue. I think it's codex. I really do. So these dogs, if they are dogs, seem intelligent. They got clothing. They're bringing goods. They seem to be communicating with the boss. So intelligent monkeys, just like monkey. And this pyramid looks like it could be in Mexico. The deity in there. Something terrible's happened to it. The temple of Shiva. Temple of Shiva. So what's with the demonic head over the temple of Shiva? This looks like a crab. Demonic crab with big buggy eyes. I've never seen anything like that in another temple at all. 3 deities, megalithic stone. Size of these doesn't look like there's any mortar used in these. It's just machining and beautiful stonework that needs no composition. Another tower, ever decreasing because they're using stacking technology with bell vibration technology. That thing could create a charge. Stacking shapes makes charges. Don't know what that is. Who, me? Yeah, you. Okay. So they are very much pyramid-like. They're also Vimana-like. And these gods, they're just, this thing that he stands on. It's a bit like, on Star Trek when they phase him in and out. Beam me up, Scotty. And he's looking oriental. He's got a trident, which is a vibrational tool, like a tuning fork. That's an unusual looking godage there. It really is. Ganesh, the old elephant godage. It's always a good thing. Oh, it looks way worn down. Ganesh. And some dancing ladies, which is always a good thing in any realm. Some more dog heads. She looks a bit chimp-like her. A bit like Galen off of Planet of the Apes. Wow, look at these little sphinxes, look. Little bird people with humans, but with bodies of birds. Bit freaky. Okay, let's have a look. He looks like he's a bit out of a Mesopotamia or something. He looks something like with Tiamat. It's like a place. So beautiful stuff they got on them, all of this in gold. Looks monster faces, looks slightly Phoenician. She looks so lifelike. You see a lot of technology around these people. That's a definite. I wonder what that is in her hand. And what are these things? Yeah. She's touching one of them. They look like wires or cables. The whole thing looks like it's a portal. You know, like, beam me up, Scotty. Really is. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Best not to ask too many questions. And, you know, these are bas reliefs, some of them Indian ones. Whew, whew. Check this out. Again, with these little sphinxes that are like little chicks. Never seen anything like that at all, ever. So I'll be linking everything up on the completion of this live event. I'm going to be coming back and catching up with you all now in a minute. God, look at that. These look like upside down batteries or spark plugs, and that looks like a battery. That is a really unusual structure. Antiquitech. All of this is. What do you think they do then? They're just for aesthetics, just to look at? No, it's device. Everything that's there is for a reason. It's all device. Look at this thing, guys. The scale. These are just kids playing it, and it is that high. Like a skyscraper. Just mind-blowing. It's called the Brabadman. Oh no, Brabana Temple. And again, like Moses, they got a thing for the calf. Two heads going on, a bit like the old Janus. And again, with their massive Neolithic stones. No, they got hewed in the jungle. Beautiful geometric designs on that wall. All of this look very trippy. Look at this little thing here with some sort of tech going on in his hand. So is she a giant then? And what's that? And that wheel. And this thing with wings. It looks techy as hell. Oh, they got beautiful clothes. Nothing like that in the modern day. He's got this thing here. That looks tech. She's got hold of his hair. He looks pissed. They're on the back of a cow. It always seems like the Naga comes up from the portals of from the underworld. I think there's definitely some sort of underworld at this stage. I really do. Maybe the Tower of Babel takes you down there. Up is down in this place, guys. Everything is reversed. So maybe the Tower of Babel is reaching to the heavens. Who even knows? Below our feet. Heaven below and hell above. The reverse. Everything's reversed. More dog heads. And weird elongated head people. God, it's just so unusual. It's nothing like what you get in the modern day. This guy's got a beehive hat on. He's getting beat up, or he's doing something to that woman. And a monkey saying, "Do you want to buy?" Looks like they sell stuff. Stop in the name of love. I don't know what is going on in that load of fuckery. And it looks like they're taking out a giant here or something. There's a monkey hugging it, and they're all trying to kill it. Again, look at that weird monster. And there's monsters on the side as well. They're horrible. Famous ruins of the great Buddhist temple in Prambanan in Java. The most famous bas relief is this one. Craziness. I'm surprised. Oh, they're not that big. Shrine of Shiva. And a grotesque figure. It's not that grotesque. They definitely didn't build all this stuff, these people here in these pictures. That's for fucking sure. Jeez. The pure, exalted virgin to whom are dedicated the temples. Okay. How did they know she's a virgin? Just saying. Bit personal anyway, isn't it? Anyway. So, I'm coming back for a minute. Because I've been talking for 642 of you watching in total. 570 you on the martinliedtke channel. The rest of you on Celtic Tartarian channel. Thank you for popping by. Okay, happy Flatterday. Flat firms. I haven't said that. Somebody said in my comments, I don't like your flat firms. It makes flat earth look silly. Okay, now I never viewed this person or seen them before. No, that is Masonic, and that is in the Masonic handbook. And I don't want people doing that. I don't want to do Roman down. I don't want to do Roman up. The only way around it was flat firms. I stay. So that's just tough shit. Okay. Lincoln in the house. Love Lincoln. I really do like that town. I really had a good time there. Been there a couple of times. Seen your beautiful cathedral. It's better than York Minster. Much better. I don't know why they don't go on about that instead of York Minster. Lincoln instead of York Minster. The highest church in the world for quite some time. The highest building in the world, actually. So I just need a drink. I'm coming up to the 3-hour mark, actually. I've been talking. It's a nice long post for you tonight. To recap, been looking into some possibilities for the place where the Tower of Babel was. And I think Samarra, going on the engravings and some of the artworks, and Brigel used it as an example for it anyway, may even be it. Clairvoyage, good to see you. Crypto, good to see you. Roy, Lady J Homestead, good to see you. Thanks for popping by. To join now. Exotic is the word, Martin. Yeah. I knew that. Croton, good to see you, my friend. Michael, Kimosabi, good to see you, bro. Ducker Gamer channel. They didn't have any ancestors build them. No, mate, they didn't have nothing to do with him. This is an older world. When we had that one language going. How do I know? Because they all built the same stuff. Joshua, Jersey, SG, good to see you. And Dallas is in the house. So yeah, I'm getting in a better mood. I am going to be coming back to the States in a little while. So you may have a chance to actually meet up with me. Actually, the last time was just the best time, guys. I'm literally in love with America land and all my friends. It's like I got family there now. Love them. Telex, good to see you. EU. So Mo's in the house. What's happening? Well, go on, Mo. Shiva Shampoo's in the house. Damn, Indonesia is such great things to see. Indonesia's not somewhere I'd feel that I'd want to visit, actually, or any of South America, or any. I'm very limited to where I would want to go at this point in time. Unless the world gets fixed, because Britain's fucked, but it's fucked everywhere. We're supposed to be one of the best places to live. Imagine how bad it is everywhere else. Don't even want to think about it. Thanks, vibes. Yeah, so I have got more images, but I'll show them on my next post because I don't want to talk over 3 hours. So we talked about the camera Lucida. I think that's definitely a thing. I think they were superimposing images onto paper and canvases for the grandmasters and some of the sculptures, etc., and still artworks and hyper-realistic art of the past. I think that's a thing. We've looked at Dresden. We've looked at Tower of Babel. I was going to show you Homs in Syria. Again, Brian, my brother, and Squizzle Sniper, who's talking to kind of dummy, and Hippie Shape. Shake, thank you, darling. And Magdavelli. Reality Seer, good to see you. Reptilian DNA. So, we're meant to have the R complex in the middle of our minds, but I don't go with evolution, like the evolution of the mind growing, because I don't go with evolution full stop. So I don't think that's a thing. And I don't think there's any evidence for it either. Just saying. And they do say that. The mainstream say a lot of shit. Avidas, good to see you. Michael, good to see you from Dublin. Nice to see you in Dublin. In that beautiful Emerald Isle, which it is. Very emerald. Nice. Capitol building. Says Sean. And Travis is in the house. And Dragon Sage is in the house. And Vanessa's in the house. Thank you for popping by, all you beautiful people. hope you all have a great week. I'm going to be back, hopefully doing more posts, and I'm getting into my ting. I've been in a bit of a 2 and 8 since I got back from the old America land. Basically was love sick, which is always a bad thing, and love sick. So I know I wasn't having a good time. I had a miserable bleeding time, but now I know I'm coming back. I feel happy again, which is great because I love America. So thanks, David. So I'm going to show you a few more images, may as well. So Homs is in Syria and is showing exactly the same devastation. These are from 1860, the first ones you will witness of Homs. So like somebody just turned up to these sites in antiquity. And Homs you may have heard about in some of the wars. Apparently Homs got battered with bombs in the past. It's not the first time. This place is showing exactly what I just showed you for them other photographs. There's an old world there, and it's all in pieces on the floor. It's just mind-blowing. These giant megalithic walls, and this is in Homs. And this, what is it? Well, there's a wall on top there, and it goes into it, and there's I'll show you the other side. There's walls all the way around. This mound, I'm sure was a building. There's all walls. I'll show you the other side. There's all walls in the mound itself. Disappears into it. So yeah, it was a massive construction of massive megalithic stones, huge stones, with an outer wall, inner enclosure, and giant wall outside. So who are they protecting themselves from? Because there's no one outside. This looks tiered. That's tiered. So that would have been a city outside. Ancient city of Homs. So yeah, see this? This is the other side of that giant muddy hill. So there's like things sticking out here, like looks like huge stone, dressed oblong chunks of something. But check this wall. The wall is all the way along the bottom of whatever this is, and there's a wall there. The whole thing's been melted, and the wall is still visible. And this terrible apocalyptic happening that happened. This is interesting. So after the apocalyptic events, they had all of these megalithic stones survived by the look of it, but they've used literally the pillars to repair and push them in that way, you know, sort of horizontally, and then smaller stones on top. So this was the original. And then there was an event. Then they used the pillars to repair, and then this bit went on top after. So it shows the apocalypse, that one. It's incredible, the image, that one. What about this for a mind blow? So there's a guy sitting there, right? Check out, right? Looks a bit burnt there. So nobody gives a shit about this building. They're doing campfires. All of the stones are buried in all of this. Check the megalithic stones. Now look at the size of it. And what the hell did that crack? It is massive. Look at it. And what the hell did that? Something has hit that with terrible force, like some sort of weapon. Yeah. And that at the crack there. Something's caused that too. Absolutely massive wall. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. And these people are nothing to do with it. There seems to be underground things here, which they seem to be drawing our attention to. Again, with this is a later brick, obviously, later stone. They always build on top of the older world. That one. It's a tower of some sort up on the hill. There's no one about here. That hill there is just crazy. I'll show you on a panoramic. It looks just like a big pile of mud in the middle of the town. It's the weirdest thing. I'll show you now in a minute. That's strange. Stuff's missing off here. Look. Oh, arches and domes coming out this way into the forecourt, and they're missing. And there's a column. Wow. See, there's an arch there as well, being bricked up. Can you see it? Wow, that's amazing. Again, there's windows in there blocked, door blocked. All of that would have come out into this forecourt. Interesting. A wooden door each. What is them there? On either side, a wire and a wire going in. 1870, it was not the telephone. So I'd say different makers from that other stone and that pillar. Wow, look at that. Not seen anything like that before. Beautiful carpets inside. Some sort of mosque. Ooh, I wonder what that says. Behind this stone is a fortune in gold. Probably. Makes you think. Look at that. Size of these megaliths. No composition, no mortar involved in these at all. Just precision stone work. Obviously, I don't know what that says, but I bet it's significant. So, beautiful bas reliefs. Beautiful decoration there. I don't know what this is showing. It's just geometric and very confusing, but very aesthetically pleasing. And then everything outside this hill is like apocalyptic. Here's the people who live in Homs. Homs apparently got a bit beaten up in the war. And look at this. Outside that mosque is just half walls, 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 stone sticking up. An entire civilization that is totally missing. And there's the occupied Homs of today. And there's that site. So in the center of Homs is basically a bloody great big pile of mud that has got walls fused into it. Isn't that the most unusual thing there? Look at that. Just a big pile of mud in the center of the town. See? Makes zero sense unless it's a mud flood. She covered all of this stone, 2 different stones there. This looks maybe a bit more Roman, but this is ancient megalithic stonework. And as you can see, stone walls there, caves going under, all inside that mound. It's just a disintegrated, melted building. That is the whole thing, guys, I think. And that's in Homs in Syria. I think that's going to more or less wrap it up for today, guys. I'll just come back, give you a few shouts. 627 of you. Thank you for watching. It's good to be back on a flatter day. Just coming up with a 3-hour mark now, so that'd be fantastic. So, book drive 7,150 antique books, old books, books on everything from spirituality to shamanism to all of the old 1800s books you could imagine. My best books and Jason's Archaic's best books, all on a thumb drive. I got a few of them left I could sell now, but I got to go into production this week. And it's like I said, I'm going to probably get an old shitty laptop or something so I can copy more. Probably be worth doing in the next couple of days. So please be patient. If you have bought an image fund drive, you're going to see it soon. Okay, guys, I'm getting them all off this week. Cycle Dave. Well, go on, bruv. Winston Smith. Nice name. 1984. Neil, good to see you, my friend. Neil, Orange Peel. Joshua, good to see you. Reality Seer and Mrs. Beach Person. Come to sunny USA. Yeah, so I haven't seen the sun in quite a while. I'm in Wales, so it rains forever. There's an 80% chance of rain tomorrow. It says that pretty much every day of the fucking week. So, Lady J Homestead, it says, you look terrific, Martin. Oh, thanks, lady. I hope you do too. Ditto. Very kind. Very nice. Yeah, I will come back. I'm coming back soon. Okay. Going to do the whole thing. Going to come and see you. Going to see you all. Work for the council, hippie. Brian Evans used to be CNC operator, I think, as well. So, hi, HD. I say hi, hello is hell. Yeah, so it might not be a good connotation. Roy, Debbie. Good night, all. Lost the key. Have a pleasant sleepage. John, don't know what that is. Oh, Flat Earth Zuma, good to see you. I'm almost American now, Zuma. Elon von Braun. Egypt had 1,200 ton single piece of granite columns with amazing designs. It's amazing, isn't it? It's mind blowing to think. On horse and carts, they delivered all that stuff. Quite amazing. Keep the heads ringing, Shay. That's what we do. Cowgirl in Arizona. I was listening to Neil Young, Cowgirl in the Sand earlier. Cowgirl in the rain, not Cowgirl in the Sand. Brassy, good to see you, my friend. Ducker, good to see you. Okay, Joe, good to see you, my man. And Michael De Silva, I think you bought photos as well. I think. Dallas, Charles, Fearless. Oh, okay. I'll see good. So yeah, we got some good, exciting stuff to look forward to on the round, guys. I'm sure you're going to be really into all of this that is coming, and I'll tip you off this week about all very exciting stuff. Okay, so this blog, this Flatterday Live special event. Okay, it's been what the real Tower of Babel, the gates to the gods or gods, and my evidences for what I think, where I think it is. So Cheryl, goodbye everybody. Cheryl's waving goodbye. My new microphone worked a treat. I had no more glitchage, so that was fantastic. Pamela, good to see you there. Kenneth, Ruffer, good to see you. And I said that. Okay. Thank you all in chat. Much love. martinliedtke 7. I got my email address is here for any information. Make sure to please subscribe. I'm just coming up to the 60,000 mark. I need a few more. So if all of you subscribe who have it right now, that'll help no end. And if you need any information on drives or sends concerning antiquity, or something you think I might be interested in, martinliedtke7@gmail.com. You can also get my books down in the descriptions box for this video. All of the books that you've seen, the maps and stuff, Kirshner books, the lead atlas, Mappamundi, everything there will be linked in the descriptions box below this video, following this video, which will be ending very shortly. Okay, so there you are. Okay, let me bring some more of you up. So there's Gainer. Thanks, Gainer. So Nostatio, thank you, Jolly Man. Thank you, Dragon Sage. Thank you, Ting Ting. Much love to you as well. Thank you. Amazing show. Yes. Back. I'm very happy to be doing Flatterdays. Flatterdays, they've been years and years we've been doing Flatterdays, and they're always epic. Something we can enjoy. Martin lays down the entertainment. And it's all done in the best possible taste. Jersey. Flip fruit. It's art. So there you are. It's linked up there. Buy Martin's Thumb Drives. I got a copy, a few more of them, but I have a few for now. And thousands and thousands, 7,150 books, you know. So, John Guerrera, good to see you, my friend. Let's have a flick through. Isabel Bro, good to see you. TW, have a wonderful rest. After a flat day, I never hardly get to sleep because I'm all hyped up after talking for 3 hours. And then everyone's thinking of me. And then I got like Brian stuff going on. I can't really waft off to sleep, but we'll try. So thank you, everybody, for participating in chat. Thank you, everyone, for bringing your positive vibration. I noticed the lack of negative bullshit. We don't do that here. Okay, we're all happy, chappy, sure. And if you project happiness and love, that's what you're going to get back into your realm, okay? Because this is a mirror. It's a mirror of us out there while you're looking at, okay? Not that there is anything out there exterior in the world, because all is mind. But in the context of there's a projection that's working at the same token for everybody else, it needs to be positive, because the negative is feeding them. And I wouldn't give them fuck all. Dirty bastards. Do you know what I mean? There you go. Mac, good to see you. USA, the home away from home. I know. I'm half American now. Now I've tasted liberty. I want more. It's epic. Debbie, good to see you. somewhere in time. See you all out on the journey. I got a t-shirt over there, says just passing through. I'm just passing through. I'm sharing my life experience publicly with the entire of the internet. Lots and lots of you. And you're rooting me on. You want me to go and do these fantastic stuff. So you can share it with me. I'll do it for you. Okay, brilliant. So there you go. So thank you, Lady J Homestead. Thank you, all you kind people. Thank you, Cheryl, for modding. Thank you, all my friends, gang. And I'll maybe hook up with a few of you on the 25th in Brighton. See how that goes, okay? I'll be there. Come and see us. Squirrel Sniper. He's my epic brother. Nathan's been a mod since 2015 for me. 8 years. Fucking hell. We were young. We were young back then. We were young and innocent truthers, Nathan. What happened to us? Lee, I embraced. Good to see you, Lee. You red path in the house? Martin Lara. That's a nice name, that is. Martin, and I got a cousin called Lara. So two of them are names in my family. I love this program. It's the best, I know. Hugh, E-R. Donkey's awesome. I love donkeys. They're the best. Donkeys and monkeys. A shower. Love shower. Whoop ho. TW. And wavy wavy. Wavy wavy. And T Joy now. Okay. That's most of you. If I haven't said hi to you, I do apologize. Thanks for popping by. This has been an epic Flatterday night. I've loved it tonight. It's been really good flow and good information and some mind-blowing stuff. Like the massive aerial outside ancient Nineveh. What's that doing there? That was pretty mind-blowing. Jay, good to see you. And lots of other stuff. And a literalist, good to see you again. Thank you for popping by. And all my old Flat Earth Britishers. John Taylor, good to see you. And new ones besides. Good to meet you. Any newbies? Hope you're liking the old format and what goes on, yeah? Miles is in the house. Hi, Miles Phillips. Scatterbrain. Kay's lovely. She's in the house. And Silver Mist. And was cracking, but he's not no more, which is brilliant. Global group think, unfortunately, but double flat firms. Funny, flat firms coming from global. Zania D, good to see you. Martin, going to be in Bournemouth, yeah. Can never hear what he says when the images come up. Oh, right. Yes, going to be in Bournemouth. Sorry, I hope the volume didn't cut out at any stage. I haven't heard any complaints. Beth, yeah, you're coming back to America Land. Yes, I am, Beth. That's right. Coming back. Hello, amigos. I'm coming back for stage 2 of my invasion of America. I did the first tour, and now I'm doing my second Led Zeppelin tour, the bigger one. Okay, I made a splash. I'm going to make a bigger splash. Martin, you would love to show you Arizona. I may go through Arizona, so I'd love Arizona. I love anywhere, anyway, as long as it's American. Karen Lewis, back us on board the Minnow. Thank you for that, Sarah. Good to see you. I got to go because I've got a zinging sensation in my brain from talking forever. So make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like this show if you did. Do that now. That's no great effort. Got 536 likeages. Not that it means any difference on the analytics, but it makes me happy. And do all those good things. I'll be back very soon. Thank you for an epic flat day, guys. Holy fuck, that was brilliant. Lisa and Bridley, double flat thumbs to you too as well, sweetheart. And Dawn is in the house. Thank you. Love you too. And Sherry Baby, Coquitlam, Arizona. Sherry Baby. Sherry, won't you come out to come to North Carolina in the winter? We may never know. Never know. We seem to be going west and west and west. Don't seem to be going east and east and east. I'm always in the deep south where it's at. Texas land. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm going to go full cowboy me, guys. You know that. I'm going to join the rodeo. Get plenty of women on the rodeo, man. Jersey Bob. I'm not scamming. I'm not going to end up on the rodeo. That's just silly. I'm 56. I can't. Fucking hell. My back would go. It's uncomfortable, them horses. And they flick you off. Fucking dead. Ugh. Claire, good to see you. And everybody else, thank you for popping by. Make sure to do all those funky things. Brett's in the house. Brent, excuse me. Yeah, well, I've got 52 states to choose from. Hawaii is pretty nice. Don't fancy the Alaskan one very much. Not in winter, anyway. Dallas, you've got a lot of cold places, haven't you? A lost cause, a channel about all things hidden. Flattered. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, thank you, that name. Thank you, lovely Canada me, bro. Yeah, it's good the old time. I'm using this thing. This is my condenser microphone. So it's about 500 times fucking better. I don't know. I was trying to think today, why didn't I use it before? Was there a reason? I couldn't think of anything. So I was like, well, why didn't I use it? So thanks, Arwin, my brother. Have a great weekend. See you soon. And Damier asked me, and lovely vibes. And Winston Smith. And Shay. All right, then. I've said all that. And Dr. House Lounge. Okay. Hand pink waving. Okay, thank you, Doctor. Okay. I'm going. Be good. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. martinliedtke7gmail.com if you want any info. Your images sticks will be with you very shortly as soon as I get them copied because it's taking for fucking ever. Okay. Sounds really good today. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and I got a super sticker of lovely Vanessa Staple. That's nice. Thank you very much for that. John, good to see you. Australia is real. Yeah, pandas. I seen a panda today. I'm not sure if it's real though. Fell off a chair. Looked like a man in a suit. Just saying. Fantastic sound, jolly man. Oh, Chris is in the house too. Good to see. Send me some photos to Kingston, Ontario, and blow your minds. Kingston, Ontario. Okay, I bet it's Tartarian as fuck, isn't it? Okay, I gotta go. Stay epic, guys. Stay epic. Stay positive. Okay, don't listen to any bullshit or fear. Don't give a fuck. Okay, any problems with fear and all that? Don't tell me about it. Any bad news you want to tell me about? Don't. Okay, just don't. Not being horrible. I'm thinking things in a Buddhist nature. Okay, like it's not my journey. It's yours. Okay, and I don't know. It's not like I'm uncaring or anything. It's just, you know, I'm not wiring to anything negative intent. Does that make sense? Okay, it's called self-preservation, guys. Joy, good to see you. Yeah, be kind. Have a fantastic week, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to try and do a post in the week. Okay, try and do more content, more usage. Okay, and more shorts. But there's nothing to do wrong during the weather's shit. As soon as I get out, I'll be able to do more and exploring. You and Cheryl are welcome here. Oh, hang on, we got 1 year. On the old Route 66, I went over that, the Route 66. I think it was coming down 45, you go over it. Many adventures. My new video shows fresh spring waters found out of Old Rock Creek, the falls. Come on up. Sounds absolutely fantastic. Somewhere in time. You're lucky. So, yeah, we may go on a tour and just visit people and stuff. I was thinking on doing that because there's so many people in America to go and visit. So, I got loads of friends. So, all I need is some food and a big bag of weed and everything's going to be happy. Anyway, so, love you all. Flat Day's back with a vengeance. I know. It's fantastic, isn't it? You excited? Should be. Oh, excuse me. I got a thing come up there. Hippie shake. Look forward to it. Okay, we're off. I'm off. Okay, be good. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I say that, but I mean it. John. Peace and love.